Hello everyone, and welcome to Mage, Somnambulist, featuring, for some reason, no music. Oh no, it is there, okay. Welcome back to episode number 3. It's good to be back, happy to be here, and I think we'll do a little spiel about the channel, a little bit of an intro, and then we'll just get into it. So hello, I'm Sheepdog, this is The Wandering Inn. I run this place, and yes. Oh god, I need to write down an actual intro so I don't scuff it up every time.
Dude, without fail, every time, that guy. But you did really well on like the first few episodes, and then we just keep going, and then it's like there's so much.
But I did get the cameras right, and I did remember to record, so we're slowly progressing there. It's because every time I do the intro, I'm like, do we do the intros for the cast now, or do we do them at the end? And that makes me hesitate and makes me forget the stuff that I had in my head.
We've done both.
Yes. The Wandering Inn, it does TTRPG stuff. We just finished the Friday show, Dragon Riders. Announcement for anyone who wasn't there, and also tiny bit of spoilers, there's going to be a season 2. So, later this year, we are going to be coming back with Dragon Riders.
That's exciting!
Yeah, no, it's really cool. I was really hoping, and we didn't announce it till the end of the show. So we went through all the finale with all the ups and downs and reveals and moving mountains, which were actually turned out to be dragons, and all that stuff. But yeah, so obviously the Friday show is still not funded completely for cast pay and all the everything. So if you're wanting to encourage me to do more shows, basically there's a Patreon, go check it out, pledge a little bit, pledge however much you want, and as time goes on, I'll be able to do more shows. Because, at the moment, I'm happy to do like the Friday show now and then. It won't become a permanent feature until, I'm not bleeding money quite so much. Past that, go check out the Twitter, go check out the Discord. You can get the announcements for when we do shows and stuff. One of the things is always going to be that we won't do shows back to back all the time. It is very dependent on how much I am inspired to do things and how many things I want to do and how much I can afford and how everything on the show is going. But I will tell you that I just put out some announcements on the cast Discord for new shows, and at least one of them got a whole load of interest, which is going to be an interesting one once we get it going. So that's all I think. God, Tash isn't here to tell me if I missed anything. Is that everything? Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
Oh, links down below in the YouTube video and in the Twitch to all of these lovely people and where you can find them. We have included the best link to go and check them out, whether that be checking them out on Twitter, giving them a follow and keeping up to with the shows they're doing or the things they're doing, or whether it's their live streaming or, whatever it is. Any of you have a MySpace page? Is that what you want me to promote? Anyone here old enough to have had a MySpace page?
I do have Tumblr.
I had Tumblr and I had MySpace, but
Wait,
Or like Pinterest.
You actually had a
I had
MySpace?
Pinterest.
Yeah, I had a MySpace
made
too.
One. I did not do very much with it, but yes, I did make one.
I had a MySpace.
Yeah.
I was a social butterfly. I did a lot on MySpace.
Really?
I was more
I
into
should have had
Neopets
one,
at
but
the time.
didn't because I am antisocial.
But yeah, I don't think none of the links are actually to MySpace. See, I think it's pretty much either Twitter or Twitch. And yeah, past that, I think let's talk about last episode, where we got to know everyone a little bit better. We met Shelby again after everyone had a... Oh god, now see, this is where I'm gonna have a problem. Did we meet Shelby for the first time?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, for the first time on this
No,
show.
sorry.
No,
Sorry.
No, we didn't.
We met him
We
in the
explored
first
the
episode.
house.
Yeah, you met him in the
yeah.
first episode, and then it was time to go to bed, which was where you all went and you found out exactly how the house works.
Yes.
Well, not exactly.
Maybe not exactly.
Not exactly how the house works. You have a better inkling of how the house works. There was exploring the floors, exploring the rooms, and finding out that possibly there's some form of want, desire, or expectation when you open a door as to what room you will open it to. The house seems to be able to provide you with what you're looking for, as opposed to, you know, a normal house, which would be like, oh, this is the broom closet. There was an attempt to open a door on the moon, which is an interesting first go-to response. There was an attempt to open a room to another person, or a copy of a person. There's a few experiments and stuff. There was a little bit of a conflict when Alfie put her pendant friend Beta into a straw copy of herself, and then someone, I can't remember who, stole the straw copy and also Beta, sending Alfie into possibly the most extreme nerd rage I've seen in my life. You should have just told her it wasn't an open beta.
I hate that. I hate that you said that.
And you gave him the name, it's not my fault.
Damn it.
Kira went exploring, found a room for herself, and a little bit later, the next morning, everyone came down and had their first lesson with Shelby. Essentially, they were told a little bit about the reality or unreality of existence and the basics of the world they live in. How essentially all of the regular normal people aren't awake or aware of the world of how it is, and mages are very often people who awaken to the fact that reality can be bent, the fact that reality can be warped and twisted, and invariably there are different aspects or spheres of this reality that mages are attuned to and can figure out how to use and affect. So, with that in mind, I believe the very end of the episode was Shelby about to announce who was going to have a little bit of a sparring match. Just to remind everyone, I'm pretty sure Shelby stated that the rules were nothing too violent or deadly, especially.
Don't murder.
Oh, did he?
Yes. I'm very, very sure he said no injuries or
course
you know.
not.
So,
Gotcha.
Practice. We're just students.
Wait, no injuries?
I'm pretty sure no injuries was one of the stipulations.
All right. Sure.
Hey, I mean, you know, this is just currently me remembering from last week, so I may have forgotten to say that.
No, it was no injuries.
Okay.
Oh, someone Yeah. in chat just said no permanent damage. That's something different.
Okay.
Is death permanent? Death is
Huh.
not permanent.
It might depend who you ask.
Yeah. Might depend. It's relative, you know? It's all relative, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like time,
Absolutely.
you know?
Yeah.
please, at the beginning when Shelby starts speaking, please remind us of the exact rules. Please, Sheepy.
You know, there was a time, just before we get started, there was a time when a lot of people were telling me I should be a teacher. And the reason I told them no was exactly this type of situation, because students will very much be like, well, you didn't say exactly don't set the classroom on fire, so I think I'm in the clear here.
Totally makes sense.
So, we rejoin the 4 fire hazards. In the classroom, the open, empty, white space. And Shelby says, after a moment's pause and looking at all 4 of you, he says, I think we'll start with Alfie and Nell. If you would like to step forward, and we can see what you can do.
All right, so
Careful.
remind us again what the exact purpose of this is and what the exact rules are.
So, the purpose of this is for me to see exactly what it is you can achieve, what it is you know, the extent of your control and abilities, because it's easy enough for me to safely guess that, for example, Alfie has some domain over the afterlife, over death, and things like that, but I don't know exactly how much. And if I was to ask, then I will merely get a list of some things, as opposed to a broad view. So, if you're in a situation where you have to use your abilities in this space, then I'll be able to see how your mind works and how how you approach utilizing your control.
Yeah, I get it. Perfectly clear. How about you, Alfie?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Ah, the White Knight must slay his princess. So sad.
Can there be like a rule that no one in the audience can talk while we're fighting?
If Alfie has to fight Nell, that means I have to fight Sasha. Yeah,
Well,
okay.
fight is a little bit, it is a little bit, excessive. Just a small contest to see what you can do. There's no need to be, overly aggressive or,
No, definitely not.
And remember what he said, Kira. No damage. Just
Right.
friendly.
Right.
Right.
It was no permanent damage, if I recall.
Right. You'll be fine.
Was it,
Just be
Shelby?
careful.
A permanent damage would be bad, yes. I don't have any ability to help with the acceleration of healing or regrowing of limbs. So
Oh, I'm not gonna take her limbs off. That's just that's
Barbaric?
not tasteful.
Right.
Yeah, we'll just be careful. We'll be careful.
So, if you would both step up, and you can leave your bits and gadgets with you on the desk.
I think
Clutch my laptop. God. Can we make things in the room?
There's not much here currently, but I could get you, depending on what's needed.
Metal.
Okay. And he kind of like wanders off to the side and like puts his hand out, like feels around for a second, and then grabs the air and moves, and this kind of like closet opening happens, and there's just like so some of it's like possibly usable things, but a lot of it is like sheet metal or just little scraps and pieces. Is this all right?
I just go up to it and I just kind of look at it for a quick second. Yeah, that's good. Thanks. So, are we starting?
Mel will stand up and she'll like look around. It's a smaller room. So she'll like turn her head and then just take the desk that she was sitting on and kind of move it to the side. So like all the way to the wall to create a bit more space.
Well, there's not really any. Sorry, I should have said it again. Like, you're in the big open white space.
Oh.
You can't see any walls. There's no kind of like restrictions aside from. Think like the Matrix. When they go into that blank, empty white space. That's kind of what you have here. So you can come in and, yeah.
Seeing her do that, actually, I take my laptop, put it in my bag, kind of scoot it over to where Shelby is, like out of the way, and then take my desk and put it with the pile of metal.
Okay.
And then look around and just kind of wait.
While you're preparing, I will also do a thing. I read one of my spells that I have, and it says that I can like call it marking a location, basically. I would like to very much do that here, just in case. Like it's vague, but it says that I can like I have 3 in total.
Yeah.
And I imagine that I would already have 1 or 2 marked, so I will mark this exact location as well.
Okay.
To be able to find it again.
Is this something you're trying to do without people noticing, or is it?
I don't even know if it's like physical. But I imagine that Nell kind of just like, while Alfie is like moving the bag to the side and stuff like that, I'll bend down, crouch, and just like my hand like softly touch the floor and stuff like that, and like I guess you can see like kind of ripples maybe in like the surface of the floor before like she just stands up.
Well, and also in general, people who don't have the same influence on spheres domains as you won't be able to notice much. Like, they may notice that you're doing something dependent on what you're doing and how, but you do know that I'm not sure how familiar you are with each of the others. I think like you can take a guess at a couple of them probably, but Shelby has said that he is proficient with space.
Yeah.
So you know that he'd notice what you're doing at the very least. So that's why I ask if you want to, if you're essentially trying to conceal that from everyone.
No.
Okay.
Nah.
No roll needed then.
I don't think Nell even thinks of that.
Yeah.
So she'll crouch down and then like get back up. What kind of metal has Alfie been given?
There are some poles and like aluminium style looking bits and pieces. The majority looks a lot more like corrugated iron, kind of sheet metal, that type of thing. And there's also a few like strimmer style contraptions. Like it looks like maybe something you'd see in a particularly crappy shed in the back garden.
All right, sure. Nella's ready, so she'll drop into like a more crouched down, like fighting position. It would very much seem like she's ready to like punch or like have a fist fight with someone, or get into a fight. Like she immediately like slumps down a bit, on her like her heels off the ground, ready to run basically. And then she'll look at Alfie, put her sunglasses back on.
I'll note that you are a fair distance away, because essentially, Alfie would have moved over towards to the shed to look at it. So there's a fair distance in between you both.
Wait, there's a shed now? I thought he just brought metal.
He opened the closet door and inside
Alright.
was. Yeah.
But there's like nothing else here except for the desks then and the other students and then the metal Alfie has.
Yeah. Oh well. Essentially, he reached out, kind of like rummaged around in the air for a second, and then pulled open a door that you didn't know was there.
Yeah. All right.
Is the door still open or no?
Door's still open. That's where all the metal currently is.
Gotcha. Okay.
Nell
Right.
will look at Alfie and like in the position that she's in, just be like, I'm not gonna hurt you.
Okay.
You wanna,
try
like,
not to hurt you?
Yeah, sure. I'll make sure I'm not hurt. You wanna like start?
Yeah. Do we get like a countdown or something?
You sure? Shelby, you wanna count down?
When you're ready, go.
I bolt to the door, to the shed door, and I kind of just like graze my hand against the metal, like all of it, and almost like in a sweeping motion, I want to find it like pulling with me very lightly and transforming as it goes.
Okay.
Into essentially a giant metal spider.
Let me have a look here. This
Essentially, I want to use shaping and then wonderful machine.
shaping a wonderful machine. Okay, yeah. Those are both spells you have, so they don't require a roll, and you can do them pretty quickly in the space of a short amount of time. So, what you do is you sweep your hand kind of over the metal, and as you do, almost like you know, like you have those magnets and metal shavings, and you can like move the metal shavings with the magnets. Like all the metal kind of like rips off of itself, off of the contraptions they're made out of, and like forms like a glove on your hand. And then you start to like paint the shape of like a spider. You start with like a spider leg, and as you do, the metal like peels off the hand and starts to coalesce into form.
And like basically I'm trying to make it like over me in a way. So I'm like just kind of like painting
around and about.
Yeah. It's like mostly I'm just like whipping my hand to like see the metal kind of like snap down into each leg, and then I'm taking beta like in the necklace, and I'm just like ripping the chain off of my neck and like punching it into the bottom of the spider.
Okay. How big are you making this thing? Are we talking like above your head, kind of?
Above my head, yeah. Like
Okay, so
I could ride it if I really needed to, kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I will say the one thing we will need is, I think it's going to be I'm assuming you're not doing anything, no, as you haven't expressed the desire to.
No, I am looking, and I have an exact plan. Once she punched the necklace in the spider.
Okay. In that case, I won't require a roll to see how long it takes you to do. We'll say that it takes maybe a minute or so, of like frantic kind of movements and etc. And then you punch the beta up into it, and the like bottom of the spider essentially like swirls open as you push your hand up, and then it closes around your hand as you release it. And the spider itself, like, I'll give you this, Nell. You can see the electrical flow and current in the spider. It isn't powered, but it seems to be moving. It seems to be operating. So something other than electricity is powering it.
Right. The moment she pushes the necklace in there, I'll open a pocket dimension next to me, and I'll just put my hand through it. Another portal opens next to like the leg of the spider, or like one of the legs of the spider. Hand comes out so that it's touching, and I use co-location on the item so that it disappears. And I would like for it, yeah, I can do that basically to a human or an item or whatever, or myself.
What item?
The spider.
Okay.
If it's all connected, if it's one whole now with the necklace in it, the necklace is dependable. Like if it's part of it now or not, I'll leave that up to you. But basically, the spider as a whole now, I want to touch it, one part of it, like the leg, it doesn't matter, and then it with collocation being a spell that I have, it being an item, it'll appear at Merlin's doorstep, but no one else sees that. Like Merlin's house being one of the places I marked as collocation place. Yeah. I'll get it back, but yeah, that's basically what I want to do.
Okay.
Is put my hand through a portal, touch the spider, and make it go poof.
So, as you finish this thing and it starts to whir and to crank into place, you hear Beta say, "Check me out, I'm a spider." And then you see Nell just push her hand through nothingness, and you probably notice her hand come out just like dink touch onto the edge of the leg, and the spider just goes boop.
I look at Alfie and I say, "That's a pretty fucking impressive machine, though. What powered it?" Never mind, we'll talk about that after the fight. You wanna... And I use co-location on myself.
To where?
What?
To where?
Oh no, no. Could you imagine if I popped in,
you
brought the spider back?
You'd pop out inside the spider if you... Hey look, now I'm a spider! Ah!
Oh
god. No, but I won't do that. But I'll use swap on Alfie and me.
Okay.
So that she is in my position and I am in her position at the door. And I close the door behind me and I stand in front of it. There's no metal anymore here, right then?
No.
Yeah. So I swap our position so that suddenly like...
Alfie would probably still have a bit on her hand.
Yeah, sure.
Aside from that.
So that we're swapped and I just stand in front of the door.
Okay. When I'm feeling around in this space, does the space feel like it has a physicality?
Yo, so she swapped you with her? So you
So I'm on the other side of the room now.
Yeah, you're on the other side of the room. It just...
So does the room feel like it has any kind of physicality, though? Like, can I manipulate the room in any way?
The bench, the desks, the whiteboard, the floor itself, seems to be made of wood, you think? You're not sure where the walls are, or the ceiling.
But the floor is, like, made of some kind of wood?
Yeah, seems so.
I'm just gonna be like, fine. And kind of like kick my toe into the floor, and I want to essentially open a hole in the veil, rip a spirit out, and just like shove it at Nell with the purpose of essentially just like harming her in a way, like making it angry in direction of her.
Look at me being like, oh, I won't hurt you.
No, you took beta, man. Like, it's one too many times.
The second you did that, I was like, snap. So, just as a note, you can't open up the veil and take a spirit. Spirits are Kira's.
Sorry, a soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a spirit.
Essentially, Alfie licks a finger, and this kind of like very faint, like purple flame appears on the edge. She like puts it to the side, and then draws it down. Now you can't see anything, but for the sake of explaining what's happening,
Kira could.
So, a kind of like very, very faint, smoky kind of darkness, like wisp of smokes, starts to come out of this thin line she draws in the air, and she slams her hand into it and pulls out this kind of like struggling, like vaguely limbed and formed kind of shadow, except for it's like see-through and very kind of vague like that. And then are you throwing it, or are you just like sending it?
I'm basically kind of just like pushing it forward and like pointing.
Okay. So
this I'll probably have to roll for.
Yes.
Kira just looks really concerned.
I might use like speak with dead just to say get her kind of thing.
I mean, speak with dead will let you speak with the dead, the souls. It won't let you command them.
Okay, that's fair.
So it'll depend on whether it's willing to do anything for you, and given that you just ripped it out of its little comfy home,
I'm hoping it will be confused enough to think that like to just like get fucking mad at the first thing it sees, which I'm aiming towards.
Just say like, she pulled you out, I didn't.
Yeah, I'd be like, just fucking gaslight this poor thing.
So,
yeah. Gaslight gatekeep girl boss.
You can command the soul.
I'll try to command it, yeah, because I like.
That's not a spell you have.
No,
that is essentially something that you'd have to figure out. So I would say that if you're just commanding, it would be your death sphere and your gnosis, which would be 4d10.
Okay.
If you are going to go down the speak with the dead, which you do have that spell, so you could speak to it. If you're going to want to try and convince it to do so for you, that would be the death sphere and manipulation, which would be 6, I believe.
Just so you know, Sheepy, tell me, like, the moment she points a finger, if she's still gonna do that, I will react, but like when you finish the rolls, just tell me what like Nell sees.
Yeah.
Basically. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can just ask it. Can I, instead of commanding it, how can I properly ask it with manipulation? Let's see. I could just, you know what? I'll just say, do some damage to that one, and I'll put you back.
So,
almost like a bargain, maybe.
Yeah, that will be a manipulation and death. So that'll be 60-10.
Do I get any bonus because of the speciality with the veil, or no?
In this instance, I would say no. That is more in regards to research and knowledge, as opposed to a more,
Gotcha.
commanding type thing. Yeah.
Okay, 60-10.
That is 2 successes.
Is it 3 with the 10 or no?
No. If you remember, 2 10s is a crit, and that gives you
gotcha.
2 extra successes.
Okay, so that's it's not great.
So after essentially it kind of struggles in your grasp for a second, and then as it realizes that it can't get away. This isn't a particularly strong entity, let's call it. Mm-hmm. Although you would know that it is essentially like, to use your occult knowledge in this instance, this is you don't know the official name or anything for it, but you've seen Morgan use these before. You think of them as like imps. They are essentially souls that had no strong life essence. They had no strong personality. They essentially slowly kind of like, not burn away, but they lose the essence of what they are and just become a basic force. So sometimes they could be very angry, sometimes they could be very sad, and this type of thing. This one doesn't seem to, be putting on display anything in particular. But as you tell it, essentially like, go and get her, and I'll let you go. And I'll put you back. It essentially like relaxes for a second. I'm assuming you like kind of send it off, like.
Yeah.
And then as you kind of like let it go, it kind of like kind of drifting and moving, not particularly fast, but steadily towards Nell. Nell, what you see is a vague shimmer in the air as she like put her hand through, but you did see her hand disappear. And then you see her hand come back. You see her talking to something in her hand and then letting it go, and you see that kind of heat wave shimmer kind of moving towards you.
And did you still point in my direction or not?
She kind of released in your direction, I would say.
Yeah, I did. I would like kind of just like, yeah, vague, just almost like a gesture, not necessarily like a direct point, but
yeah. And basically the only thing I see is like a shimmer, like you could say that it's like a warping in reality. Like there's something there, it's just not visible.
Yeah.
All right.
I would say it's visible enough for you to see where it is at all times.
It's like a shimmering, so basically you can like see it moving. It's just like you don't know what it is or like any of that, right?
Yeah. You'd be aware that it's something you are unable to perceive. So.
Yeah. All right. I will for now open a I will definitely, if I see the shimmering kind of shape come at me, I will open up a pocket dimension in front of it. So that it essentially, like, if it's continuously moving towards me at a steady pace, I will open it right before it enters. And then I will open the door behind me and open a portal behind that, and like so that it basically walks through and walks into the room. And then I'd like to shut the door on it. I don't know if it can go through doors.
Neither do I, honestly. I'm very interested to see if it actually happens.
We're learning.
So as you reach behind you to open up the door that Shelby had opened behind you in the air, you open a pocket portal, let's say, in front of it, and it keeps moving straight towards it. And as you are like actually just putting your hand through air because there's nothing there, you see that it passes through the portal without interacting with it in any way.
Oh, that's awesome. Then my immediate reaction is to swap Alfie and I again before I do something else. Okay. So we'll swap again.
So you bloop, swap again.
yeah, and then I just look and I like, what? That's cool. What is that?
The shimmering like slows down. Alfie, you see it kind of like float up in the air slightly. This kind of like vague, like see-through shadow. And it regards you for a second, and then turns and starts to head back in the other direction.
That's yeah. I think Nell will be smiling as well.
At this point as well, Shelby, like you hear him shifting and stand up, and he says, Nell, why are you limiting your control to just the movement? You have control over more than that.
Look, I don't know what you're telling me. And then I see like the shimmering, like I want to continue talking, but I see the shimmering like coming back to me.
Yeah.
And then I will
You're just gonna keep switching places?
I will no. I will tell everyone to like I will look to the side and say like you better like try to hold on to the floor, like the desks or something. And I want to use gravitic supremacy to make like to kind of pull it sideways so that like if this thing, whatever it is affected by it, it would be dragged back to like the other side. Like basically turn gravity like instead of going this way to like going sideways. And then I'll try to also like grab onto something.
Yeah, you essentially you form a little well of gravity in your palm. It's a kind of like it's kind of a dark black purpley with little specks of light in there as it swirls and like kind of forms and grows, and then you like kind of like almost like a snooker ball. You like pop it out and it just rolls across the air and then comes to rest quite close to it. You can see the distortion in the air as it starts to like pull things in towards it. Nothing big, nothing massive. Also, the weird shimmering, this thing that's approaching you doesn't seem to be affected by it.
All right. But like
Although
everyone else is?
Well, there's a couple
Okay.
of broken pencils that start flying into the thing, and you know, like a glass cup that's like and like flies into the. Everyone else is essentially feeling a pull, feeling a tug. Maybe some of the desks are slightly shifting, but I'm assuming you didn't want something too ridiculous. Sorry.
Like I do, okay, but I do imagine that, like, also I didn't think about this, like, Nell would not be able to grab onto anything as well. The desks aren't rooted to the floor, so no one would be able to grab onto anything.
No.
But to be fair,
have a reaction to this.
Okay.
yeah, and to be fair, Nell wouldn't think about like, oh, I'm just gonna do this slightly and then see if it doesn't react, then oh no, too bad. Before she dissipates any of that, like seeing that it doesn't react to the small like current like pull, she'll kind of increase it.
Okay.
So like just before because she wants to see like if it's like it doesn't react to any of it or just not because it's too soft. Like she's like, maybe being too soft, you know.
I would say before you increase it,
Yeah.
Alfie would probably, if she's reacting to the, let's call it gravity well, that you've created in the classroom.
I'm essentially gonna continue with my shaping, like take the metal that's on my hand and whatever desks remain, kind of scoop them up in one motion and like flick it down to my feet. To try to make like iron shoes, which shaping isn't affected by gravity at all. So it would hold me in place. Like the idea is to hold me in place while gravity, like the gravity well is happening, so I don't need to move.
Yeah.
And just kind of like, I guess, brace myself or more like just be better positioned. So that's what I want to do as like a quick motion, just when that happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Essentially, you could form hooks into the ground, or you could kind of magnetize them and have them, you know, essentially like, you don't have control over gravity, but you can sense the gravity force. It's kind of cool.
I can't manipulate it, so but at least if I can not be affected by it pulling me in or moving me, then that's you know, because I had anticipated this a little bit, like seeing her kind of like move the gravity stuff around. I was like, she might be able to flip me upside down or like do all this other bullshit, and I don't want that to happen. Like,
Yeah.
you know, hell no. So I'm just gonna stay in one place,
Yeah.
and you know, that way I can focus on just actually trying to get this done. I guess, does Nell then like up the gravity well?
Yeah, because in her mind it's like, maybe it's just because it's not hard enough. So for a second she'll do that. If that like still doesn't do anything to the shimmering thing, she won't keep it up unnecessarily, but everyone will kind of like, her included, feel bad.
So as you're kind of increasing the gravity well, Sam and Alfie, as you're preparing concrete shoes, the gravity well itself starts to move and essentially shifts away from this like shimmering of shadow that slowly, it's kind of like past the gravity well. It's not going quickly, so you're not in imminent danger. And the gravity well kind of essentially heads towards the blackboard and comes to a halt in Shelby's hand as he like picks it up and just like blows on it like that, and it essentially like dissipates into like crumbling, you know, crumbling magic essentially.
Void dust.
The essence of it has been scattered. At the same time, you notice that the shadow, the weird shimmer, is like, it's still moving and it's still kind of like snaking through the air like a fish in water or something. It's not actually getting closer to you anymore. And Shelby says, Alfie, would you mind putting that back? And in fact, now instead of, you know, not moving towards you anymore, it actually starts moving back away from you. And it, Alfie, you see it essentially comes back and then it ends up in front of you.
I just kind of look at it and almost like pat it on the head, and just open the veil and throw it back in. Yeah.
Just like close.
Yeah. But just you know, I don't want to. Like, I'm not pissed at it. I just want to be like, yeah, whatever you did.
I'm not
whatever you
angry.
did.
I'm disappointed.
Very, very good. Nell, would you mind bringing back the overgrown spider, metal spider machine thing?
Right, fuck, yeah. Give me a minute. And I'll co-locate myself to Merlin's house, like the front porch. Depending on like, is the giant spider with Beta in it still there? Or has it like moved for any reason?
So, yes, it is there. Merlin is also there. And the giant spider thing is saying, I know, right? I mean, kids nowadays just don't understand what it is like to be responsible. And oh, hello. Nell, you're supposed to be you are supposed to be
Space doesn't matter, Merlin. I'm supposed to be everywhere.
That's not even slightly true.
I turn around and I touch the spider and I make it go back to the like location, the white space, basically where everyone else is.
It just whoop.
Yeah.
It's recess. I'm on recess.
It was lunch break.
Lunch
Dad.
break.
9 a.m.
And then I look at Merlin and I say, like, look, isn't this what you wanted me to do? Learn and stuff like that. It's not like I wanted it.
Nell, I don't believe in any of our conversations we had I ever mentioned my request to have you go to a school and send me a giant metallic spider with a soul inside.
So you're telling me you don't want me to learn anymore? Because I could like just leave, you know?
Is that learning?
I mean, you tell me because you wanted me to. Is this not good enough? Because if this is not good, I'll just tell Shelby and I'll be on my way.
No, it's fine. It's just I wasn't expecting a giant spider, metal spider, to turn up and to. It's absolutely no. It's knock on my door.
And I didn't expect to be in boarding school, but like here we are, you know.
While this is going on too, I'm like I like lean into Kira and I'm like, well, this is kind of boring.
Yeah, I'm just really glad nobody got really hurt.
Hurt? It was like I felt so bad for poor Alfie being toyed around like that, like cat and mouse. Poor thing.
Well, it is kind of similar to what you did the other day, but yeah.
Yes, but she, you know, for once actually wanted to be a little bit violent, you know, and tough, right? This was just really poor display. And she says it loud enough so Alfie can hear it.
Yeah. As
Green just kind of cringes.
As you're talking, there's like an absence of noise for a second, and there's a giant spider which is like rattling around on its big metal legs, kind of. It's like, what? Who? What? Where am I?
I just like reach up and just fucking pull it out.
And the like you just reach in and you grab the pendant and pull it out. And the metal starts to fall apart and essentially like deassemble bits of itself. Not completely, but enough. And Beta will say, "Did we win?"
Not even fucking close.
Well, that wasn't my fault. And back over with Merlin, Merlin says, point of fact, Nell, we're not actually at boarding school right now, as this is my house.
Is it though? Are you like certain?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Like, why would
certain.
I be here then?
Well, I believe that
Maybe you're at boarding school.
I haven't been at boarding school for a long time.
Maybe you just should. Maybe like this is all a sign that I should be learning with you. Me showing up here and stuff like that.
You want to help me with the edible bookmarks? Of course, Nell. Yes, come back and learn.
Fuck, I didn't think you would say that.
I forgot about the bookmarks.
I forgot how stupid his learning was. No.
I don't have an answer for that. Which doesn't mean I lost the conversation.
As you know, assistance is most well. If you don't want to learn, an assistant would be the perfect alternative. I have lots of experiments and ideas that need to be done, and with someone like you at my side, I could get triple the work done. And he just carries on in this kind of like mumbling and thinking about all these type of things he can do.
I was gonna say like I wanna. The funny thing would be to just touch Merlin and make him co-locate back into his own house. But like honestly, I don't think Nell would have marked like the inside, the bedroom, as like a location. So she'll just like back off, like take a few steps back and just say like, you know what? It's a really good offer, and I really need to think about it, but like I'll come back to you on it, like maybe tomorrow, maybe like the day after that, like I'll see, you know. Don't wait up for me. I'll be back probably.
I'm on the other side with Kira and I like look at my wrist. Doesn't have a watch.
Yeah.
And I go, and I lean into Kira, I go, she should be coming back in 3, 2, and then I'm calling him when she appears.
Yeah. And
Totally.
God.
I'm guessing you don't even say one.
do
You're just
that?
like, and then
Yeah, I just go.
Totally.
Nell just pops back into the location she touched on the floor. Whether anyone remembers that or not, I'll leave open to interpretation.
How do you know? How did you know?
I'm just really good with time.
Right. So, very well done, Nell and Alfie. If you just sit down for a moment, might go over a couple of issues that you had.
You don't need to say such things if they're insincere.
I'm just gonna like the metal that's falling around me and everything. I'm just gonna like almost just start walking back to where my desk was with like my or like pick up my stuff, go over to like make a little spot and make a little like metal castle around me, just like as a little turtle shell.
As you kind of like sit down on your desk, you're like moving your hands around and the metal's like tinkling, almost like it's attached by invisible strings. And you just kind of like form up some little battlements.
And like making tiny little people just like sit on the battlements and like watch with me. Just
Teach, was this really a test?
I
also want to take a leg out from one of her seats.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I stand up at the perfect time.
Okay, before you do that, I'm assuming that this would be something you are not trying to telegraph. Alfie.
Yeah. I'm trying to do it like just as like a very quick.
In that case, I will go with a dexterity and stealth here.
Okay.
As you can do the ability, it's one of your spells. However, it will require to be done sneakily for Sesha not to notice.
So that's 4 dice for me. So I'm gonna do
4
that.
dice for you, and for you, Sesha, this would be.
Now she has noticed that she went off and made a metal what's it called? A metal
Little castle.
casket. Little igloo castle thing out of metal, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So she has noticed that. So I don't know if that has anything to do with the fact that she would that it's not like as sneaky because she can see her.
Well, it's like the pieces of metal, the main pieces of metal would be the ones that like look like they're coming with me. And then it's like just yank that little bit
and
at
then
the
just
end.
yank it while it's happening.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I got 3 successes on that.
It would be down essentially to whether you notice her movements to do it. That will allow you to have the perfect timing and to like stand up when it happens. Otherwise, if you don't notice, there's no way for you to like enact it.
What about imbuing myself with good luck?
Why would you imbue yourself with good luck in this moment?
Well, I'm about to fight Kira.
But in this moment, like if it was.
Well, in this moment, no. I would have. I did want to imbue myself with luck, but like right as I'm fighting Kira, so technically it wouldn't count. So I wouldn't have imbued luck. Yeah, you're right.
The one thing I could say is in the future, because I feel like it would fit in with Sesha's personality and that type of thing. You could imbue yourself with some type of mixture of either curse or blessing, which would be essentially alerting you to.
I get like a spider. I get like a tingling spider sense.
Yeah, like a
we can do it. We can do it after. Like this will be a really good like learning experience.
Yeah, I would say this would probably be the trigger for something like that. If it doesn't work, but I would say in this instance, it would.
What do I have to roll?
Yeah, it would be wits and.
My wits is
2,
1. No, it says 1.
Your wits is 2.
Oh wait.
It's attributes at the top.
Yeah, it says 1 dot.
There's 2. There's 2 dots. Wait, sorry, 1 sec.
No.
I might be on the wrong character sheet. I have a few open. Oh no, sorry, it is 1. Yes. This would be. This would probably be wits and expression.
You said wits, right? And
expression.
Expression. Where's expression?
It's down in your skills in the
Oh, I see.
social.
Mm-hmm.
So yes.
And that's I don't have anything for that. So what would I roll? Just a 1d10?
1d10, yes.
Yep.
But you got a success.
I did?
Unfortunately, however, Alfie got 3.
I was gonna say, yeah, I was just like 3 successes versus 1 success.
So essentially, you are taken unawares as in the like periphery of your vision, you can see Alfie like building up this thing, but then there's just like and I'm gonna say in this instance, because she did get 1 success, Alfie, she can tell it's you doing it because it doesn't make any sense that it would be anyone else anyway.
Sure. Oh yeah.
But there's like a quick hand movement, and you feel your chair just like tip diagonally backwards as you're essentially like spilled out of your chair. It's not.
And you see her because she's kind of like, so she's like sitting like with her hands, like she's sitting with her legs crossed, you know, like kind of leaning. All of a sudden, you just see.
So, what I will say in this instance is your instincts can kick in here.
Yeah.
And you can try and recover a little bit.
I would attempt to recover while it's happening. Yeah.
Would you like to use your time or your fate? Your time will allow you to, like, for example, perfectly time like bracing. That's the type of thing you can do. Or your fate will allow you to essentially minimize damage by essentially like landing in the right spot, or you know, things like that.
I think I would do. Well, I think Sesha would definitely do time, I think, to be able to perfectly land and prevent any like damage or whatnot.
Yeah.
As like a reaction.
The other option or possibility you would have is you'd be able to slow down time around you and yourself like falling.
I was thinking about doing that, about like slowing my fall or slowing, I guess. Well, how would it work? Would it be I essentially make myself faster?
So you would
in current time?
You would slow down the surrounding space around you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which would mean that you would be falling slower and allow yourself to like react and maybe put your hand down.
Okay.
To everyone else,
I would like, yeah.
It would kind of look like you fell into treacle or something. You know, you just gotta like get stuck in the air slightly. You can move a bit faster than you normally would, because you know. But so this will, again, this is not a spell, so this will come down to your time and your gnosis, please.
Let's see here.
I believe your time is 3 and your gnosis is 2, so that'll be 5d10.
Okay.
Damn. Yeah. Okay. As the chair tips and you kind of roll out of the chair as it kind of like ejects you from it. As you're spinning and you're kind of going like face first down towards the ground, you very quickly pull up the flow of time around you and just slow the air, slow your progression down. You don't like. You don't slow down like yourself.
Yeah.
It essentially the surroundings around you slow down. You essentially, it's almost like you make the air a little bit thicker. You move through the air slower. It lets you kind of like basically move and put your hand down. And so you can brace and you can like slowly do that. So
you see Sesha, like if anybody is around watching besides Alfie, you see her kind of like tip backwards a little bit and struggle, and then all of a sudden it's like you just see her perfectly like plant her hands down on the ground before hitting her face.
Yeah.
And she turns really slowly at Alfie, and she just kind of has this like really mischievous grin, and she winks at her. Nice.
It is also a little bit awkward when you're suspended in the air.
Because I'm suspended in the air, yeah.
The moment you do that, I think Nell will, she's kind of angry at this moment, but she will walk over to, like, in front of Alfie as well. Like, she has a little cove, but I am assuming she still, like, can see somewhat. Like, she didn't entirely close herself in. So Nell would, walk over there, kind of crouch a bit to like see into the little cove she made, pick up like the pencil from Alfie's desk and kind of like hold it like pointing towards her and say like, you're all right, right? Like I didn't hurt you or
I get up while
anything.
they're doing this talking. I get up and I like basically brush myself off.
Act like it was all on purpose.
Well, no, she doesn't act like it's on purpose. She just, she totally accepts what happens. But she does, like, she's just got a really nonchalant, like, well, oh well.
You okay? Yeah. Like, not hurt or anything?
Not hurt. I know you're not hurt. I didn't even touch you.
Nope, you didn't. I'm okay. And
I think some feelings were hurt.
Yeah, that's the least I could get her at this moment. And I will move back to her little desk, and just like sit down with a huff, break the pencil in her hand, throw it away, and just sit back to hear whatever's gonna happen.
Kira's just gonna kind of lean a little bit closer to Alfie and just be like, "Are you sure you're okay?
Fine. Why does everyone keep asking me that?
Just making sure."
Because you're in a metal igloo. That's why. You're like a tiny little porcupine right now.
So
when
it looks like
porcupines
like
feel.
a little...
Well,
like...
she knows it's like a castle, but she's calling it a like igloo. When porcupines feel threatened, they curl up and their spikes come out. Kind of like what you're doing right now.
In this little battlement, there's tiny little people, like little
tin soldiers.
knights and little archers and stuff. And I just want to like tap the battlement with a bunch of archers and just have one of them fire a tiny little arrow towards Sesha. Just not even to try and get to her, but just to be like, fuck you.
She doesn't dodge it. She lets it hit her.
It bounces off your nose.
She just smiles at her.
I like make another layer of the battlements go up.
Drawbridge, like.
Pretty much, exactly.
Kira just like starts taking deeper breaths.
Right. So, very good. My question is, from the start, why the need to be so excessive in what you were doing?
I just kind of lower the one part of the battlement down so that he could see my face. Do you mean me?
Both of you, in fact.
You said, show what you can do, so I did it.
Yeah, wasn't that the whole freaking point?
It was, but also the point was for me to see how you approach the, application of your powers, of your abilities, how you approach the manipulation.
So you saw that, right?
Yes, I did, and it seems to me like it is a very blunt force application of power that is how you approach problems. The creation of a giant metal spider, or the essentially hopping all around the place like a
Like a what, Shelby?
I don't know. I'm not aware of anything that actually can teleport, but is there some kind of squirrel maybe?
Yeah, sure. So continue with the sentence instead, maybe, instead of like trying to call your students nicknames.
Right. What was I talking about?
I think Kira and Sesha were about to fight.
You were still critiquing them on what they were doing to the fight.
Thank you,
Or
Sessa,
sorry, their
thank you.
test. You're
Yes.
welcome.
So, to use a practical demonstration, Alfie, if you would extricate yourself from the fortress of metal for a moment.
Kind of like open the drawbridge and crawl out of it for a minute.
Thank you. Right, so, and he takes like a pencil out of his pocket and holds it up. So, if you would walk towards me and take this pencil, please.
Just like, I think it's a trick, but I'm like, okay, I'll just start walking towards them and like reach my hand out to try to get it.
Okay. You start walking forwards and you're moving. Like, you can see the floor moving underneath you, but you're getting no closer to Shelby. As you keep walking, you keep covering distance, but you never get closer to Shelby. Nell, I'll give you this because you have the same domain, or same sphere. Shelby is extending the distance between himself and Alfie at the same rate as which Alfie is moving. So it looks like she's walking on the spot. What's in fact actually happening is every time she takes a step closer, he's essentially extending the distance that there is left between her and him.
God, that's so frustrating.
It's a very subtle manipulation of the space of the abilities I have at my hands, and it's definitely not as flashy as creating a well of gravity that could suck us all in and kill us, but it is effective enough for its purpose. What I'm essentially showing here is that you don't have to risk the death of everyone to achieve a goal.
But that wouldn't point to you. That wouldn't kill any of us here. Like,
Well, it didn't because I took it in and I
well, I could have dissipated it the second, like, after.
But when I saw you getting frustrated and making it bigger, that's when I took it and I dissipated
I was
it.
just experimenting. Isn't that what learning is as well? Experimenting?
Alfie is now running as fast as she fucking can
Yeah, and
to
she's
try
still,
to catch up.
She's still not moving, like literally on the spot, never wavering like backwards or forwards, just maintaining. And like he's not even looking at Alfie now; he's actually looking at Nell and essentially talking.
Okay, just stops running and then just kind of like, I'm gonna try to, like, while I'm not moving, just like try to manipulate the floor, whatever square is around Shelby, to like move towards me instead.
So you're like essentially.
It's essentially shaping,
Yeah.
technically. So
with the shaping, you can essentially like part a section of the floor underneath you. Second, I'm pretty sure with you have 3 dots in matter, right?
I do. Yes, matter is the one I have the most in.
Do you have a spell that lets you essentially like my thought here is essentially it might be difficult to lift you and the floor?
Oh no, I'm not trying to lift myself from the
Oh.
floor. I am simply trying almost like to pull the rug out from under Shelby in a way.
Okay.
I was gonna try to pull Shelby to me, but I feel like that's probably too much. Like it's either probably too heavy or like it'd be too difficult to move both of them at the same time. So I'm just gonna try to like pull the floor out from under Shelby instead, and hopefully trip him so I can grab the thing.
Like essentially like pull the floor out from under him. Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, yeah, absolutely.
Do I kind of get the sense that Alfie is doing something?
I would say no. just
Okay.
purely in this instance because it's a matter thing, you know.
I want to imbue Shelby with bad luck. So it like would actually happen. But like if I can't physically see like or get any indication that Alfie's doing something, then I won't do it.
Yeah. No. What essentially happens is you use your shaping, kind of reach out and you like twist your hand, and the floor under Shelby just like rips away and like sweeps his legs out from under him as he's talking, where he's like, well, I think that's a whoa, and he just goes like absolutely sideways, like slams onto the ground, like awkward, terrible, like legs flailed, splayed, and the pencil like moves, like rolls out of his hand slightly and onto the floor.
Yeah, and I like try, and then I want to take that bit of floor that the pencil's on and like pull it towards me with the pencil.
Okay. Can you roll me your matter and gnosis, please?
Yes. My gnosis is 2, so that's 5. That's 2 successes. Did we fucking match?
Yeah, we did. Except for you rolled 5 dice and I rolled 9.
Oh god.
Yeah, I will say, you again, are you like grabbing the pencil with matter and like swinging it towards you? Or are you like grabbing the floor and like propelling it towards you? What's the
I was trying to grab the floor and propel it towards me.
Okay. Yeah, you grab the floor and kind of propel it towards you. Essentially get like the floor just like comes up like a spring trap, just like, and the pencil like flies off towards you. And it's like as you reach out to grab it, it stops like a hair's breadth from your fingers and just like freezes in place though.
I'm just gonna like pluck it out of the air.
As you like move your hand towards it, it stays in the position it is in.
Like it's just a little bit too far away from me.
It's the same as when you were walking towards Shelby.
Yeah,
you can move your hand like forwards and backwards. It stays at the same distance from you as you move.
Kira's just like looking at this and like her face is just like devastated for Alfie. She's just like, this is not fair.
And Shelby,
I wanna.
Shelby like rolls over. Ow, oh, I think I hurt my hip again. And he stands up and starts hobbling over towards the pencil. As he hobbles over, you actually increase your distance away from the pencil.
Yeah, I just let it happen at this point because I'm just like, fuck this guy.
He reaches out
Can I-
and takes the pencil.
Well, can I, before he reaches out and takes it, I think Nell was increasingly getting frustrated from all of this. And can I try to, with like 2 tiny portals, take the pencil before he can take it? I mean, he's not expecting me to intervene here.
You want to like essentially bloop?
Yeah, I want to just like take the pencil.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so like I take it and I just like break it in half. And
Another
like that I
pencil
did with the
broken.
first. Yeah, like I did with the first one. I just like an agitated sigh, I like throw it away and be like, you want to get on with the lesson or whatever?
Well, that was the lesson. So I can't really anymore. Essentially, Alfie and Nell, there are more subtle and less strenuous ways to reach the goal you desire than to use. For example, Nell, if you had maintained distance from the entity that Alfie ripped out of wherever she ripped that out of, you could have concentrated on the main task of. One of the reasons I stopped the fight was because you were essentially not really fighting or doing much of anything. You were trying to.
This wasn't supposed to be a fight, though, was it, Shelby? Because if you want it to be a fight, surely
No,
it could be a fight.
It was a demonstration of thought process and ability.
Right, and we did exactly that.
I think he just wanted more, honestly.
Yeah, if he wants more, then just don't put up rules like no damage or no permanent damage.
I just think he wanted more than you playing tag.
Yeah,
with
again, if he
things.
wanted that, Sasha, he could have not put up the rules he did of no
And
permanent damage.
I'm not disagreeing with you. Clearly, this test didn't really do much except for, make people upset.
Look, I didn't want to hurt Alfie, Shelby, so I think you should stop arguing on that point.
I'm just gonna, if I try to move from where I am, does it actually look like I'm moving properly in space again or no? Like, not towards Shelby, but like back towards my little,
There's a moment
my
when
little castle.
There's a moment when you start moving where you move on the spot, but as you are essentially facing away from Alfie and trying to get back to the castle, it stops very, very quickly. And
Kira's just like intensely frowning at everyone.
I kind of just want to look over and see if I can like grab the two halves of the pencil and like stick them back together and put them on the desk.
yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like on Nell's desk.
Very basic restore.
Sorry for hurting your hip.
Oh no, you very almost got the pencil, which was it was a very good display of thought and application of your abilities.
He deserved it anyways, especially putting you on display like that and ridiculing you. Just my personal opinion anyways.
I build the wall up higher between me and Sesha specifically. Just the small part of the wall so that I don't have to see her. Just that.
Aw, that was supposed to be a compliment to you.
Why don't we take a break for lunch, and then when we come back, Sesha, Kira, you can try the same thing. And Shelby turns around and goes over to, like, he basically sits at his desk, opens up a kind of like a binder of like pages and things, and says, be back in 20-30 minutes or so.
We'll be back in 30 to 40 minutes. And then I stand up.
Ooh, she like, Sasha's like, wow.
I'm assuming because, like, right now I still had the vision of, you said like the big empty white room. Like, I had it in my head that it seemed like the walls were endless.
You can't see an end to the room, is essentially.
How can I leave the room? That's the only question I have.
Well, there is a door behind you where like
Great.
you came in from.
I stand up.
Like, description problem there. Essentially, as you enter the room, there is a door behind you.
Yeah.
With like, yeah.
All right, I stand up and I turn and walk to the door.
Yep.
I think Kira would stand up also and walk over to like Alfie's thing slowly, like not getting too close, but then she'd just look at Alfie and just be like, "You hungry? Go get some food." Yeah.
I'm okay. You guys go ahead. Just like, I'm almost like, you can almost see like behind the walls, there's like little, she's like crafting something, like a little trinket of some kind, and like seeing the metal being like pulled and almost like as if it's Play-Doh in a way, but it's very obviously like corrugated steel or some bullshit. Like it's like it just looks like it's made of like putty.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll bring you back something if you want. And then Kira's gonna go out.
Head out. Are you joining Nell, or are you heading out yourself, kind of like separate ways?
I'm literally hoofing it to whatever kitchen-like space we have to make something for Alfie and myself.
Okay.
I just feel like this was so stressful, and then I know I have a thing coming up too with Sasha, who I'm a little bit terrified of.
Yeah.
And everyone's upset, and I just want to make some food to make myself and Alfie feel better.
Just so you know, Nell will also be heading to the kitchen. So like you'll be a few steps behind, but we'll be going in the same direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for Sasha to leave so that I can hopefully talk to Shelby. But I'm just
I get up and I knock on the metal wall.
Mm-hmm.
all the little archers start to aim at you.
Now, I come in peace, and she kind of does this little thing with finger. How's Beta doing?
I'm good.
He's good.
Good.
Yeah.
Didn't know if that whole time slip thing messed with him or not. That's good to hear. And she walks away.
What does that mean? Am I older now?
I don't know. Do you care?
Not really, no.
And I'm gonna let the whole castle kind of drop when Sesha leaves the room, just into a puddle of metal.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna walk over to Shelby.
Okay.
Can I, as I was leaving the room, even before Nell left, maybe, can I just really lightly mental scan everyone just to find out what they're hungry for, so I can ask the house to get it for me, so I can, because when I get to the kitchen, I'm gonna just try to feed everybody.
Okay. I would say, if that is the thing on the surface of the mind, the thing they're going for, then yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'd require a bit more of a dive, and then you'd end up getting their general preferences as opposed to what they want currently. So
yeah, I mean, I just want to have an idea. So that's just Kira's response to all this. She's so stressed, and she wants everybody to just not be upset anymore, and she knows that yummy food will help, and it's just a life Mage thing, so she just wants to make everybody food.
Yeah.
You would get from Alfie, by the way, you would get very, very quickly just sandwiches, not necessarily just PB&J, but Nutella sandwiches or something with the crust cut off or something, something that she hasn't had often, but that she fucking loves.
Ooh, with bananas or strawberries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my god, no.
It's a decadence that she's not used to, but has had once, and
maybe has a little peanut butter in it, Nutella and peanut butter with the bananas.
Oh god, sorry everyone, it's my fault this time, but yes,
It's
100%.
it's what I'm craving right now, actually, and I'm just
Okay.
yeah.
How about Nell and Sasha?
I lean on the door frame of the classroom for a little bit to see if she if I can hear anything, which I don't. I'm assuming.
Probably a little bit of murmuring, mumbling as she's talking to Beta, aside from that.
So I go up to my room.
Okay. In that case, you probably wouldn't get anything from Sesha. Nell, I'm assuming you're thinking of food?
Fun question. If whatever Kira's trying to find, is it like what we want at this moment? Or what we like specifically food? Because
So
Food, I think, because I just want to make everybody like feel better.
yeah.
So in my head, not being hungry and being full with something that's like comforting is gonna make everybody happier with whatever's going on.
Essentially, she'll pick up your essential surface thoughts that are like skimming through your brain. What she's looking for is food. She may pick up other things if you're like, goddamn authority figures telling me what to do.
yeah, because I was basically thinking, Nell is heading to the kitchen, not because she wants food for herself per se, but she was thinking of, funny that you said it, Kira, she was thinking of going to the kitchen, getting something, and then like teleporting it into the room for Alfie. But she's not, the thing she wants right now is she's not thinking about food for herself.
She's thinking about food for Nell.
I guess you could either pick up that she's heading to the kitchen to get something for Alfie.
Yeah.
And that she really wants to punch someone right now.
So essentially, as you're wandering into the kitchen with Nell, Kira, you get the you're looking for food. You're essentially like, I wonder if they're hungry. I wonder what they're wanting. Could I take the leap and say that maybe Kira wouldn't even try and scan Sesha because she'd be worried that Sesha's like, right, I'm a lay into Kira as soon as I get a chance. Like I'm gonna beat her up, kind of.
Actually. Yeah.
But in any case, what you get from Nell is a general enthusiasm to punch certain teachers, I would imagine.
Not exactly, because like she was thinking that,
Yeah.
but then he complained about his hip, and she was like, "Oh, but he's," but like she wants to punch someone or something.
She had
Not
generalized-
specifically Shelby.
Okay, in that case, that would be interesting for Kira actually, because I'm guessing Kira was thinking that Nell was pissed off with Shelby in general, given that.
Yeah.
So you'd actually pick up that she's not pissed off with Shelby. She's just kind of pissed off.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting note for Kira to, have.
Yeah.
And past that, the intent isn't really like, I'm hungry, I must make this for me to eat. It's more circling around the idea of, what would Alfie want? What should I make for Alfie? And send in to her. So.
Yeah, I think if I could sense that when we get to the kitchen, I don't know if Nell would just be like looking around in the shelves or in the fridge or whatever. And I think I would walk up to her and just be like, I think she'd really love a PB&J.
Wait,
Alfie, that's kind of the vibe I got.
right?
I can help you make one.
How?
It's just a thing I do especially when I'm nervous and people around me are stressed and I'm stressed. I like to get food for them, and it's just like a thing I do.
All right, so you're just very good at trying to guess what people like to eat.
Well, I think it's actually part of my power. Like I can kind of surface scan what people are thinking in that moment, kind of, but like I don't get like your full thoughts or anything, and I would never pry. It's just kind of like surface level what you're wanting at that moment, because I figured that would make everybody feel better.
So you're telling me you can read my mind?
Only a little bit.
To give you context on what wait, let me just double check on your this is Kira. There we go. So you can essentially read surface thoughts, the equivalent of like vocalizing, you know, like when you say things out loud, it's very similar to that. You can't really read too deep into intent or inner thoughts or anything like that. And if you wanted to do a deeper dive, I would say you'd have to either be very close, have a willing participant, or like spend a decent amount of time sitting there, basically, you know.
Yeah,
Doing
I
a bit
mean,
of a
it's
dig.
it's a very like mild kind of skill. But yeah, I don't really know what you're thinking. It's just kind of a feeling, a sense, you know. And only if I try, and I only really try when people are upset. And
That's dope as hell. Huh. Yeah, I was just thinking about. She seemed kind of, I don't know, like she didn't want to be around us, and I don't want that to be the reason why she doesn't eat or anything. I mean, you've seen her; she's not that well built. So I was just thinking of maybe getting her something and delivering it to her without any physical contact.
yeah, I could make it, and then maybe you could teleport it to her. That'd be cool.
Is sure if that's what you want to do, then sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you think it's a good idea, I think it's such a cool power.
Yeah, go ahead and make it, and I'll get it to her.
Okay.
And as you maybe like start making the PB&J or like the sandwich with Nutella, I think Nell will lean against the counter, and look sideways, like not even specifically to Kira, like sometimes to her, sometimes to the side, and just continue. I just don't get it why they would choose him to be your teacher. Like I have never had a proper teacher for any of this. I mean, Merlin, bless him, but like he can't control the same things I do. And I just feel like there's a better way to learn control or whatever it is they want us to learn, instead of asking us to show things and then saying no, it's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I never really thought about a right way to learn because I honestly really struggle with control. And Guinevere, I mean, she taught me some things, but she's she expects a lot, and I don't have very good control. And her mansion is so beautiful, and I just never wanted to damage anything, and did sometimes. And I'm just happy to have any kind of teacher, you know?
Look, isn't that the problem? Like, they're all about, oh, you can't damage anything. Oh, you need to do this, but do it with control and do it like this exactly from the first time. Like, you can't do that when you don't try things. When you're afraid to damage things, you'll never learn. Like, you'll never get to your limits. If I
Right.
I feel like I could do way more, being able to actually constantly use my powers and try to use them for certain goals, and to sit in a classroom and hear him talk about the basics of magic and then scolding me on doing what I can actually do and actually control already. No one got hurt in there. That was the whole point, wasn't it? To show what we could do and not get anyone hurt. I could do lots of things that could hurt people and show what I can do. isn't that also like some form of control? I don't know.
It is, but if one of us gets hurt, then I mean, especially if it's irreversible or if it's hard to reverse, that would make learning more difficult. And I don't know. I mean, I think you're right that we'll never know our limits unless we reach them. But I wouldn't want to do that and have someone else pay for my mistake if my limits were more than I could handle, you know?
I mean, not if they don't deserve it.
Right. And I mean, I don't think you or anybody here deserves it.
Right? Which is the reason why, like, I don't know, the whole fucking test was lame, and I I don't need to hide it that I don't want to be here, but I get why you wanna be here and be away from whoever that Guinevere is. She sounds kind of like a bitch.
I mean, she's just very exacting. But she took me in, and I don't want to disappoint her, but also I'm glad you're here. I feel like I've already learned something from you. You know? I mean, I know we're here to learn from Shelby, but I feel like I'm learning something from all of you. We're all so different, and we all have these different powers, but we're also just different in how we talk to each other and talk to Shelby and think about things. And like, I've never met anybody like you before, and I've never met anybody like Sasha or Alfie before, or even Shelby before. So I don't know if his teaching methods are the best or even any good, but I still feel like I can learn something just by being around you guys. And even if his teaching style isn't good, I feel like we could still help each other and sort of be there for each other and learn things together. Right? I don't know. That's just kind of how I see it.
I don't even want to know what you think you're learning from me, and
How to be strong. And how not to take shit from people, for lack of a better word, honestly. Because, I mean, I'm not very good at that, and you're awesome at it.
yeah, well, I guess you learn how to not take shit from people when you've taken a lot of shit from people. And like with that, I think Nell kind of absentmindedly like scratches her the like scar that's visible on her face. Like she's like, and I guess she would also be kind of uncomfortable. I think Kira's in tune with like body language and stuff like that and motions, so like Nell would definitely get a bit uncomfortable at that.
Yeah, I think Kira would probably see that and just kind of like back off and just start making the sandwich and like, yeah, just like let her be, you know. I like.
And now for what I made earlier. Pulls out sandwich.
Yeah.
As you make some lunch for yourselves and also probably Alfie. Sesha, what are you doing? Having wandered off and up to your
I am door closed, sitting on my bed, holding 4 little voodoo dolls.
Ooh, okay.
And each one mimics, well, the people here, including the teacher.
Okay.
And I hold up Nell and I hold up Alfie and I go, one doesn't want to hurt anybody. Always has to make a show. So tough. So tough on the outside. And then this one So sad and soft. But I'm sure she's hiding something in there. So she puts them down. And you. And she holds the one that looks like Kira. With your beautiful red hair, your innocence. Your need for control only consumes you. Don't worry, I'll help you with that. Besides, the only way to really control your gifts is to unleash them. I'll help you with that. And I boop the nose of it. I put it down.
As you boop the nose, a small ripple in the air just goes.
What to do? So I have a question. I would like to. So I will present my idea.
Yes.
And see if it's possible for me to do something similar. I would like to essentially, I guess, have Kira have her powers go a little bit awry when we're sparring.
Okay.
So I don't know if that would be a curse or if it would be a bless or something, but it's just like, because she's been holding it back, and I want to know if there's a way to kind of turn it on its head, not completely to the point where she's like going like super crazy, but like I want to see her do something.
Oh, for sure. So, you could put a blessing upon yourself that would cause, essentially, when people are directing, you might have to make it specific to the spheres or specific to certain influences, but you could put on a piece of clothing or like a pin in your hair or something, like a blessing that would essentially make any attempts to influence you in matters of, for example, spirit.
That's perfect.
To go Ori or to go to essentially like reverberate and backlash. The other option you do have is you could put essentially, we'll call it a curse. It's not really a curse, it's more of a trigger on an item. If you put a trigger on an item that you then gave to Kira, it would cause her to essentially be less likely when she initiates her ability, when she initiates something, she accesses that magic and starts to manipulate things, it would cause her to unleash more power than she would intend. It's not really a curse because it's not something negative, either an intent or an outcome, really. It would just mean that she'd basically go like, oh, I want to access the spirit realm or command a spirit, and she'd be like, all this power.
I want to do that.
Okay. Would you like maybe like a hairpin or something along those lines?
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the plant that grew like crazy in my room, and I'm going to take one of those leaves. And I know if there's anything that Baba has, I know she's got some random baubles and doodads. I'm going to see if I can find something to, like a little tiny bottle, like a tiny bottle. I'm going to stuff the leaf in there, put a cork in it, and kind of turn it into like a necklace.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that it's in itself is just a matter of, doing those things. So, you get them all together and get it up. And then do you want to put it on the plant, the bottle, the necklace, the whole thing as an object? What's the...
The whole thing is the object. Yeah, it's the whole necklace is the object itself. And I'm going to look at it. Yeah, I think this will work. If there's anything Baba has taught me, there's a will, there's a way.
Sometimes you have to help people get to where they need to be. Would you like
And I
to
look at the little
use-
doll.
Would you like
I'm
to
helping.
use Baba's boon?
Yes.
That's something Baba taught you. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have to be on a doll. It's applicable to other things, but essentially, yeah. So it does involve, you know, a bit more prep time. It's more of a, it's not really a spell. It's more of a ritual. Baba tends to be a bit more ritualistic. So you have to carve a few like little circles and inscribe a few little runes on it. You place the necklace itself like curled up in the middle under all of these things, and then essentially the item itself needs to have that trigger, and then once that trigger hits, once the person wearing the necklace has fulfilled the essentially the let's call it trigger word, but it's not a trigger word, you know what I mean, like once she tries to access the powers, it will essentially intervene with fate to make it much more likely for her to access more of her power. More of her power as much as her power. You want to see how much she can do, or do you just want to echo, kind of like enhance what she's doing? Are you testing limits here, or
I'm testing limits.
Okay. So it's as much power as she can essentially bring to
Yeah.
bear. All right.
So,
Easy enough to do. Takes a little bit of time, but, you know, like 20, 30 minutes or so, I would say.
Excellent. I will then go downstairs. And also the Shelby doll, I just kind of like toss off the bed.
Or Shelby. Okay. In that case, we will leave Sesha to her evil ministrations, and we will rejoin Alfie, who we're going back in time a little bit as both of the group's people are doing their own things. Alfie, it's just you and Shelby now. Everyone else has left. One person gone upstairs. A couple of people to the kitchen.
Hi.
Oh, hello. Are you not going for lunch?
I wanted to ask you a question.
All right. What's the question?
Does anybody else live here?
Here, aside from you four new people and myself, no, it's just us. Why?
I saw a kid in the closet.
Oh, okay.
Named Kilja. And they could do really cool things. Like, they could make the rooms change and stuff. And I just didn't know if that was another friend or if it was the house or I don't know.
The name sounds familiar, but no, there's no one else here. There's a possibility that it could be a passing spirit, ghost, soul, any of these things really. The likelihood of it being aggressive or dangerous is minimal, as we have wards up in place here. It's very difficult to break through them, so you know. That's why when you reached into was that the veil you reached into?
Mm-hmm.
That's why you could only pull out something of small importance, a small kind of drifting soul, nothing too dangerous or anything. You wouldn't be able to. They wouldn't be in this area. They wouldn't be allowed in. So.
Okay. So you're sure But do you know who Kilja is? Or what Kilja is?
How's it spelled?
I don't know. I never asked.
I don't know. As I said, the name sounds familiar. It could be a mage. But for the life of me, I can't remember.
They said they were a mage. They were brought in to be taught, and then they were kicked out, kind of.
Brought in where?
They were going to be taught by the council.
Oh, well, that's happened many times. You know, a fair number of us have been brought in and taught the ropes and how to, you know, it's not uncommon, so it's a possibility. The likelihood would be that they could be the remnant of a. Sometimes the remnant of a dead mage can hang around and leave a impression. It's not really like a ghost or a soul or a spirit or anything. It's more of like a vague consciousness that can sometimes manifest. Possibly the addition of the four of you, the magical power could feed that a little bit and cause what would essentially be considered an apparition. Nothing really to worry about. Like, it's like an echo of a life, I guess.
So, but those apparitions can do magic?
No.
But this one did magic.
Huh.
This one made my magic disappear. And made the room... I couldn't do anything. I couldn't hear Beta.
Really? That shouldn't be possible at all.
And they said they could do it for the entire house, but I mean, that doesn't sound like a apparition to me.
No.
They were really nice though. So
I'll tell you what, I'll look into it, but I would say for now, I wouldn't worry about it too much. It's probably nothing. The possibility is that possibly your perceptions were altered or something along those lines. Just because you see magic happening doesn't mean it's actually happening, you know?
Okay. And I'll just kind of turn around and go back to my laptop and start kind of typing up notes on stuff.
Yeah, and Shelby's got this like kind of like smug little I succeeded as a teacher for once kind of like attitude where he's like, not too bad at all. Yeah, you know, absolutely clueless.
Just painful. Unbelievably painful. Ugh. God damn it.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I'm going back to kind of sit. Alfie's like not really used to having access to easy. Oh, she still has all the snacks, so never mind. She's gonna go into her bag and like grab the like gummy worms and other shit that she has.
Yeah.
And start just kind of like munching on those.
Okay.
Like kind of absent-mindedly thinking about this stuff. I'm trying to draw out like other ideas for machines.
I'm assuming that she didn't vibe with that whole maybe you were just imagining it bullshit that he was spent trying to
fucking gaslighting, bro. Like I literally sat there, I was like, I know what I saw.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, and it, like that's the thing, you know, like growing up and going like home to home or whatever, she kind of just like trust her own judgment at this point, because
Yeah.
like other people are gonna do whatever. But
And I imagine that all of the girls at some point have run into times when people don't take them seriously. So, you know,
Yeah.
understandable that it'd be like, no, I saw it, but also, you know.
yeah, there's a little bit of doubt, but not enough for her to be like, yeah, no.
She spent
I don't think I was
she spent a
wrong.
large period of her life, well, you know, since she a decent period of her life since she awoke, seeing things that not many other people can see. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ugh, yeah.
In that case, I think obviously Nell and Kira will rejoin after making food, and I think there was. Were you going to teleport food in, or? Okay.
Yeah, so basically my plan was to I said 30 to 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I will make it 35 on the count. But somewhere during that, a sandwich on a plate will appear in the room, like somewhere near Alfie.
In the castle, like by her knee, probably.
Yeah.
Well, the castle's dissipated at this point, but
Oh yes.
I should probably like reform it to make like a little, I don't know, like a little new desk or something.
Okay. Essentially, little plates with a sandwich appears on the desk.
Yeah,
they'll-
kind of like
they'll be
perturbed
like a little
about it, honestly.
plant.
Like, what the fuck?
But like you should be able to tell that it's like exactly what you were wanting. And it appears next to you, so.
Oh, okay. I'm just like looking around.
Would I be able to find Kira in the kitchen still? Because it was teleported, or is she already in the classroom?
I would say if you're stretching the time, the likelihood is I'm guessing Sesha would come back before them, essentially on the 30-minute mark.
Well, because she was looking for Kira.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be there until Nell was ready to leave.
Yeah, in that case.
I might make tea, and just kind of like offer it to Nell in case she wants it.
Okay.
Yeah, and Nell will stay there until 35 minutes after we got the break.
Yeah, Alfie would have seen the sandwich, by the way, and like kind of looked around to see what where it came from, and then just like almost like took it as though it belonged to someone else, and like she's just like holding it and just like a little
looking around like a gopher, like
yeah, like almost like hiding it under her like jacket.
yeah.
While you do that, like Nell looks at Kira, not knowing any of that, say like, maybe we should have put a note on it or something.
Oh yeah, that would have been smart.
Yeah, maybe next time.
I was
Yeah.
gonna ask if you left a note.
Yeah.
Nope.
It didn't occur to us.
All right. In that case, if Sesha, if you're looking for Kira, then you'll be able to find them in the kitchen before they return. Otherwise, you know, if you return to the classroom, then it would essentially be Alfie being surreptitious and a couple of empty desks.
I might actually start heading up a little bit before,
To be on
like
time.
the 35. Yeah, to be
Yeah.
on time, and also to just kind of give Nell space because I know she wants it.
Okay.
So yeah, I would just be like, I'll see you up there, okay?
You really want to go in 30 minutes?
I just don't want to be late.
I thought you just said that you learned from me not to take shit from anyone.
I did. Okay, I'll wait till 33 minutes.
Do I hear this?
I would say no. Just
Okay.
purely because it. Okay.
Because I figured that they're in the kitchen, and so like I don't think the kitchen is like right next to like the hallway to the stairs.
I would say if it's intentionally looking for Kira, most likely as you step down the last step, she steps out of the door to go back to the classroom. So you're kind of like,
Kira!
Hi.
Hi! Are you heading back? Let's head back together. I loop my arm around one of her arms.
Okay.
Yeah, I would imagine that in the end, Kira didn't manage to get to the 35 minutes. And
No,
so
yeah,
Nell
it
is
would
still
have been like
waiting in the
32,
kitchen.
33, yeah. And I literally would have like looked back at Nell and been like, baby steps.
You
And
hear
then like
her
let herself be
disappointed
dragged
sigh.
off by Sasha. Yeah.
Now I wanted to talk to you about something.
Okay.
I know that we have a test and we have to display our abilities, but
I won't
I
hurt
promise
you.
you- oh, you won't hurt me. Oh, well,
I mean,
I was about
I'm
to
gonna
say that
try,
I will
but-
not hurt you, all right?
Oh,
And as a token for that promise, I made you this. I hold up the
Oh.
necklace in front of her.
Oh. Wow. Thank you.
I just
That's
made it upstairs.
sweet.
The leaf inside is from that plant that you grew in my room.
Wow, you like that? Oh, wow.
Yes, I
Thank
loved
you.
it. So I just thought I'd, make a little something as like a, promise that I won't hurt you during the test and whatnot.
I wish I had something for you, but I'll do my best not to cause any pain. At all.
Oh, trust
and-
me. Even if you do, I can take it. Wear it. See if it fits.
Oh, okay. And I like immediately put it on, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is so sweet. Thank you.
It looks so cute. I'm glad you like it.
I do. Thank you. It'll be good. It'll be a good sparring session.
It'll be fun. It'll be a real learning experience. I'm sure. For both of
Yeah.
us.
Of course. And Kira's like not. She's not mental scanning her at all. She's like just completely like focused on like, okay, I sort of have a kind of a plan. It's not gonna hurt her, but it might work. She has time powers, so who knows what'll happen. And she's just like going through stuff in her head that she can trying to like prepare. But at the same time, she's like, that's so nice. So she wants to hurt her even less now than she did before. And yeah, she's just letting her like walk her up there.
As a very quick sidebar session, just so I know for the details of the things, you were talking about the dolls. I'm assuming you left them up in the room. You didn't.
I left my dolls up in the room.
Okay, good to know. I was worried that you took them with you and you were like bring them down. You were like, haha, look, I made voodoo dolls of you all.
No. No.
Okay. In that case, little bit of time passes as you sit down and, essentially, Shelby keeps writing and everything. Nell, how long do you leave it? Did you say 35 minutes?
Let's make it 36.
36, okay. Sesha, on exactly the 36th minute, Nell steps back into the thing. And as you step in, Nell, Shelby looks up and says, "Oh, so soon? Okay. All right. Well,
Fuck.
So, there are a few more things that I think we should talk about. The dangers, the problems, the entities out there that could cause you harm or cause you problems. But for now, that is not a pressing topic, so how about we get to Sesha and also to Kira, and then we can talk about that for the end of today's, let's call it orientation, essentially.
All right.
Okay. Sure.
I get up and I stand where I'm assuming I'm supposed to.
Yeah, it's just, there's a little open space for you. Well, there's a massive open space. There's like possibly miles of open white space for you.
Kira's like really nervous, extremely nervous, and she looks nervous, and you can tell. And she's just kind of like, okay, I'm gonna try to do a thing. I'm not gonna try to do anything until she does anything. And it's gonna
Kira,
Nell
deep breath. You can do this.
Nell openly shouts to Kira, "Yo, kick her ass!"
Yeah, that too. Try to do that.
be good. Okay, I just don't want to hurt you, but I'll try to kick butt.
Baba's
try.
put me through worse. It's all right. One time she accidentally threw me into a volcano.
Oh God, how did you survive?
I rewinded time.
Oh, that's very smart.
I just I transform my little desk area to have like a small scoreboard up in front of it and like flip the little metal things to 0-0 and just like a little metal timer, almost as though it's like a basketball kind of game or something.
Yeah. So, you both stand up, essentially go to your positions, and are standing there staring at each other.
Well,
Okay.
There we go.
Kira's like going to start to focus, and she's gonna try to kind of combine powers. I don't know if this is at all possible, but she thinks that Sasha's gonna like wait for her to do something before she just rewinds time.
Sasha, are you kind of like just standing there, like kind of like, go ahead?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And then like here's just gonna focus, and I'm gonna try to use body control, just by itself to start,
Okay.
to like make her fall asleep.
All right.
That's not painful, and it would just incapacitate her. So that's like my thinking.
Yes. So it's essentially, you feel like a slow creeping, like suggestion almost like drift into your mind. And it's almost like your eyes start to droop. You start to feel more tired. You start to feel drowsy. Essentially, you can feel the influence essentially being put upon you.
and I think since with time,
Well,
obviously
it's very
there's
tentative.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say there's
Yeah, it's like-
prediction too, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So I
It's
pretty
very
much can predict
tentative.
that she's doing it.
Yeah, like I'm just kind of like seeing if it even works. I definitely don't want to use too much.
Yeah.
I'm like, because I know it can be strong, so I'm just like really just trying to just do a little bit.
Kira, darling,
Uh-huh. Are you sleeping?
you're not trying to bore me to sleep, are you?
No.
I thought we were
I
going
am-
to have some fun.
Okay. I'm gonna try to make her sit down. She's standing, right?
I would say in this instance, Kira, you're aware of her attempts to essentially influence your mind, so you will have now opportunities to react and to counteract what she is attempting to do.
Oh,
I mean,
me?
Sasha. Yeah.
Sorry, Sasha,
Okay.
yeah.
Kira, don't make me sit down. I'm standing.
So you do need to do something to stop the making you sit down. So essentially, at this current point in time,
I'd like to accelerate.
accelerate
Me.
you. Okay. In that case, as you say, Kira, don't make me sit down. I'm standing. Very, very quickly, you sit down on the floor. It's like you go immediately from like standing
Yeah.
up to.
Oh my god. It worked. Okay. And I'm like focusing a little bit harder.
Okay.
And I'm trying again to like make her fall asleep, but it's still very tentative.
Again, like there's that creeping sensation of like lethargy of sleepiness.
So- Now that I'm sitting and I've fulfilled that, am I allowed to move?
Oh yeah.
Or am I
absolutely.
stuck? Okay.
No, yeah.
Since I'm accelerated, I would like to get up and walk right behind her.
Okay. The speed will not be to the point where you'll be like boom boom, but essentially it will be like a fast, slightly blurred movement as she essentially swings around to the side, and then behind you, you do have time to react. But less time than would be normal because she is accelerating her movements. And
I think I see her and I'm like, oh no, what do I do?
the threat of someone like coming towards
While
you
while she's doing that, I slap her. Not like full blown like, but like I give her a good like.
kind of like a quick.
Yeah.
So you take a kind of like a little clock across the face. Nothing painful, but a kind of stinging.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like in shock.
Come on now.
My first instinct is to just call a spirit, like either call like multiple spirits.
Yeah.
Just to get them around me to get her off of me.
Okay. In that case, please roll me your spirit and your gnosis.
How do I do that exactly?
So that will be your spirit, which I believe is 1 dot, and your gnosis, which is 2 dot. But you also get +5, so that will be 8 dots. 8 dice total.
Okay, so 8d10.
Yeah. Okay. So. As you focus, you feel yourself reaching in and accessing the spirit realm to call to you spirits, things to protect you, things to look after you, things to imbue into items. And unbeknownst to yourself, the necklace that you were given starts to glow very slightly, kind of like a white-blue color. And the limiters you have been placing on yourself, and also the unknown limiter that you had placed on yourself, snaps. And there is a shockwave of just force that expands out from her feet, and you hear this like as the ground at her feet starts to crack, and cracks like expand from her out from below her and go up into the air and start to crack the air around her.
I start backing away really slowly, smiling with like my hands out, just like, that a girl, let's see it.
And as another shockwave expands and out from her, parts of reality start to fall like glass shards, and a white, bony hand, fingers curl around the broken shards of the air and pull apart as a tall, like robed in these like weird white garbs with little runes and glowing purple and blue sigils, and a half-covered face that has like what looks like bone kind of like curled around its face, probably about 8-9 foot tall, starts to step out, followed by another another 3 in a similar garb, in similar like strange like half like bone masks and like little slits in between them, all dressed the same. And then finally, one more walks out behind the rest of them, about 5'5", 5'6", maybe, completely smooth, like alien-looking features, green, like luminous green eyes, and looks around and says,
Interesting.
Kira's like freaking out. Obviously,
Interesting indeed.
there's some stuff going on. Kira just starts to feel this like really intense sort of emotion and really intense power, and she can't, like, she's realizing very quickly that it's out of her control and she can't hold it back, and she doesn't know what's happening, and she's like, oh fuck, oh no, oh god, I don't know what it's gonna do, it's gonna hurt her, I don't want it to hurt her,
and
oh my god. And it's just
the small.
Alfie backs the fuck up and puts up the fucking ramparts again and like just
Sasha's definitely doing her like whole fate part where it's like she's tempting fate right now.
The small kind of like smooth, very very curved like heads. Looks like they're kind of made out of bone, almost. Like very long spindly fingers and etc. And I will add this piece of information. Has what looks like a stick at its hip. Just essentially like kind of wrapped against its hip. Looks over to one of the larger, kind of more hulking, let's call them entities for this point, and says,
Brother, protect the conduit, won't you?
and one of the larger ones like looks at him and kind of does this like slow dip and then like walks over towards Kira. The smaller one like turns its head and Sesha, you see it's kind of like slitted like emerald, almost like blazing nuclear green eyes settle on you, and then you all feel like this kind of echo as it disappears and reappears right in front of you and says,
Like,
as it leans down towards you, it says,
hello, sister.
and then pushes its hand out and hits you square in the chest, and you go flying about 200 meters.
oh god, no, no.
And then it turns around and looks at Nell, Alfie, and Shelby and says,
All right, who's next?
at the
No
same
one-
oh, sorry, there we go. At the same time, Shelby stands up and says, I don't want to panic anyone, but the wards are down.
Oh
So-
god,
This is not a test.
I'm trying to turn it off. This is the problem I have. No, I don't want anyone hurt.
And Shelby says, can someone please deal with that? I'm going to go help Kira. And within a second, he takes a step and he's right next to Kira. He essentially the big, like, burly one that is standing near Kira, like, swings its fist down as Shelby like steps right next to Kira. In one step he covers the whole distance, but it the distance between Kira and the big bulky one just extends, and it goes like, it starts to go until it's like a dot in the distance. It's like getting moved and moved away, and Shelby leans down like, Kira, I need you to calm down. Okay?
I'm trying.
I
I'm
know.
trying. I don't want to hurt anyone.
When Kira said that, I think Nell jumping from the desk, knowing that there's danger now, will shout back to Kira like, "Don't turn it off, darling. Just control it."
I don't know how. It's so much power.
You'll find out.
It's so hard to control. It just wants to break things. Ugh.
No. As you speak, I would say you see the smaller one spin around and look at you.
No, don't hurt Nell.
He can
Oh,
do.
gosh.
He can do that, baby.
And then he starts stepping towards you.
Yeah, the moment he takes a step in front of me, I'll portal here, portal under his chin, boom, and I'll try to kinetic blow this
Hell
guy
yeah.
under the chin to blow him away.
In that case, please roll me your brawl and your strength, but add your force to the dice.
Yeah, so my brawl and strength.
It is let's have a look here. 3,
5
5
plus my forces, so that's 8.
8. And just
Yeah.
for the record, dice.
Whoa!
For the record, Nell and this entity, this being, are like 40 meters away from each other. It just started to step in front of her, and Nell takes a stance and just uppercuts. And as she uppercuts, her fist disappears into nothingness, and right under the chin of this kind of oval kind of like moon type face like that, the fist just appears crackling with power and energy, and just hits it right under the chin. And there's a second where there's a small amount of back and forth as the fist buries into the chin, and then the being, this entity, just flies backwards like Sesha did earlier, and starts skidding and rolling, and its body starts to ragdoll as it's rolling with the force of this punch, pushing it back across the ground. It doesn't quite go as far as Sesha went, but it goes a good 50, 100 meters, and then comes to a stop, and you hear from over to the side, you hear a kind of of these other three large entities, as they all shift focus to you, Nell, and then you hear the as these big hulking they almost look like marble statues, if marble statues look like Hulk kind of vibe.
Yeah. I think as that all happens, Nell still finds the time to throw a little sentence to Kira as she prepares herself for the next hit. And she's just take all the time you need, darling.
Okay. Alfie?
Okay, so Alfie's backed the fuck up.
Yeah.
The ramparts now have come down, and she's now just coated, I want to say she's coated in the metal, almost like this liquid armor right now.
Yeah.
But she hasn't decided what to do with it. And when she sees Nell do that uppercut, she probably starts to kick into action there. Sesha's across the room. Kira was taken up by Shelby, right?
Yes, Shelby's next to her, essentially talking to her currently.
Okay. I am gonna look at the, I guess, 1, 2, there's 3, is there 4 of the skeleton guys, and then one moonface guy?
The fourth one is miles away,
Okay.
because Shelby pushed him away. You're assuming. There's 3
Yeah.
more walking towards Nell, and there's the moon-faced guy who just got knocked back, and also knocked Sesha back.
I'm just gonna say hey Beta, you wanna fight these guys, or
Fuck no.
okay, well, I don't either.
But I feel like we
So-
should anyway, right?
Probably. You wanna go for your standard good one, standard good form, or are you feeling something adventurous?
Your choice. Technically speaking, I can't die again.
Yeah, but whatever you think's gonna work, right? Whatever you're most comfortable in. And I'm just at this point starting to form some of the pieces, just having them kind of expand out from this liquid metal into various parts that I know Beta's gonna need to be made out of. It's so we thinking what, Wolverine type thing, or what?
go something a bit beefier. They're quite big, strong. Go bear.
Bear,
Kind of
bear.
Mecha Robo Bear. Yeah, like that.
Do Robo Bear. Can do Robo Bear.
Right.
Yeah.
But maybe
Okay.
a bit quicker.
Yeah, okay. And then, so I'm going to, like, now fully commit to making the pieces come out. And they're going to essentially form into not a bear, but more like, what's the term? It's almost like a giant honey badger
Okay.
kind of
yeah,
thing.
Yeah. Like a
Like-
big kind of like like a Wolverine type.
Like a Wolverine, but bigger and definitely more like like, it
sharper,
looks like-
gnashier teeth and claws and etc.
a junkyard giant Wolverine kind of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. And I want to essentially like reinforce the matter so that it's very, very strong. Like just very compressed but not like brittle, but just like very like firm.
Okay. And yeah, essentially you start like slamming bits of metal together, and as you move them and you kind of like manipulate them, they bend and then hold form as you move them until you have this kind of like pretty decent sized, it's not quite as big as them, but you know, like a good kind of like 5 foot tall, big bulky kind of Wolverine style thing. I'm assuming you'd like to essentially manipulate the like claws and the teeth, kind of, we're talking like razor sharp type cutters.
Yeah, and I want to be able to be on the back of this thing. That's
Okay.
the other thing.
Like
I want to be able
a saddle or an indentation for a seat type thing.
Yeah, like just
You
to
could
be
even,
able to like sit in
manipulate
it.
the metal as like a seat belt type thing, like strap yourself in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just enough that like I can shrink down if I need to, like into the body, like further down. And my essential goal is to be able to, at the very least, if I need to, like help Beta move, you know, like almost as though we're moving kind of like in sync with this giant metal thing.
Okay. So you put Beta in the. You said he jumped in the
Because
seat.
we're like together in the
Yeah.
thing. I would like he'd just be like from me
Right,
almost.
right, okay.
Yeah.
So you're acting as a conduit for Beta here.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
interesting. Okay, I like that. Would emanate from around about the mouth of this Wolverine bear thing. Voice says,
Alright, which one first?
The big fucker, and would just like start taking off, like almost like just like full tilt running at it, and with the claws that it has, just try to go first to get, because we're significantly shorter than
Yeah.
it. So I'm gonna try to cut from the knee on one of them to incapacitate.
yeah, and as you like charge at it, it's like fist like swings down towards you. And,
Can I interrupt that?
yes.
I'd like to use tipping the hourglass on him
So
to slow his speed.
So, Sesha is a little far away at the moment, and also just about to wake up coughing blood from a kind of like, you know, like, oh god, that hurts kind of type situation.
Got punched
It
in
hurts,
the gut.
but she is smiling.
Smiling through the pain.
Smiling. She's got blood on it, like coming out of her mouth, and she like wipes it away, and she's like, just like snaps her finger and just casts tipping the hourglass on the guy that like looks like he's about to swing and hit Alfie.
Okay. What does tipping the hourglass do? It
So I momentarily alter the flow of time, and I cause it to speed up or slow down for a subject.
yes. So you want to?
It says, but not drastically.
Yeah.
It says, yeah. So
throw off
basic.
the
So he's like,
timing of the
yeah.
fist.
So he's
Yeah.
just like, like pretty slow.
Like
Yeah.
anime.
And,
Like
Yeah.
an anime scene.
Mm-hmm.
and the Wolverine bear robot metal thing just like slides past this entity, and from like the knee above, this like the leg is just taken away as you cut through it, and the teeth of the machine like grasp into it and rip apart the leg. A note for Sesha, because I think she's the only one who will notice this in the current situation. As you stand up, and
Because I still have acceleration on.
yes, so too does the oval face, the shorter of the entities that got hit away by Nell.
He has acceleration?
No, he stands
No.
up at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Kira's like she sees, I think, Sesha cough blood and freaks out more. Like she's just breathing harder. Everything's even more intense. She's just like, no, I don't want that. But she just has no control.
Shelby,
Kira, it was just a scratch. I'm fine.
Shelby,
Focus on yourself.
Shelby puts his hand on Kira's shoulder and says, Kira, you need to calm down. And
I'm trying.
I know. But we need you to compel whatever these are away from here, back to where they came from, okay? You have the power to do that currently. You just need to apply it, okay? Because I'm not sure even I can deal with these. So,
Oh God.
alright?
Okay.
Just concentrate.
Okay.
Take a breath. Okay?
Okay.
And would you like to, give them the old boot?
Yeah, I'm like lightheaded because I'm trying so hard to breathe and calm the fuck down. But yeah, she'd try to basically open the doorway for them back to the spirit realm.
Reality is still smashed to the
yeah,
side of you,
yeah.
so
She's just like willing
as
them
she's
to go
trying to do
through.
that, can I walk up to the one that got up just like me?
yeah.
Are they mimicking my every move?
They're not mimicking. Essentially, they stood up as you did, and instead of rejoining, their head turned, and the eyes again fixate on you.
I am smiling really big, and I'm going to take my cane off of my hip, and I'm going to twirl it around. Cheapy, may I cast Severing the Strings?
You make us severing the strings.
All right. I walk up,
As
kind of,
you-
like a little blurry, and I'm going to stop right in front of them.
As you
And I'm
go
gonna
to
do
your
it.
hip, and you pull on the handle of your sword stick, the strings and the seals around it snap and break as you pull out your sword, and this beautiful, almost white blade just slides out. And in the exact same motion, the shorter entity, the moonface, let's say, goes to his hip, pulls his stick, puts his hand on at the same time as you do, and pulls on his stick, and a pure black blade slides out as strings and seals snap on his stick.
I like your sword.
Thank you, sister.
Are you my brother? Or are you also my sister?
What is your purpose in drawing your sword?
Severing the strings.
Well, now someone has to die.
No.
I know.
Let's
What about
see
you?
Who it is, shall we?
I try to pull him back with everything that's in me.
Please roll me Spirit, Gnosis, and 5 extra dice, which will be, I believe, 8.
Please no.
3 of the statue of the big entities freeze slowly. The one with the leg groans and creaks, and then slowly they start to dissipate as the things completing them, making them up, essentially dust and drift away, and slowly get sucked back into this giant crack in reality. Almost looks like a smashed mirror with like missing parts. And the moon-faced entity pauses just as the sword's about to completely come out, and slowly seals it back up. The strings and the seals reform themselves around the sword, and he puts it on his hip.
I'm not ready to stop existing just yet.
Well, looks like you're out of time.
It does. I'll see you soon, sister.
Be seeing you.
And the image of him in front of you like kind of shudders and then disappears as he echoes and appears at the cracks in the mirror in the air. And he turns around and looks back and says,
We'll be seeing you all later. Have a good day.
and as
Ta-ta!
he walks back into this like twisting darkness that has appeared in reality, the parts of the let's call it reality still, the glass starts to come back together and knead itself back together as he steps in, and the pieces and little bits start to seal back up, and reality is reforming.
I will sheath back my sword.
It won't go back in.
Kira's just like breathing hard, but she's sort of starting to calm. Trying to calm really hard.
I walk up to Kira.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for it to go so crazy. I didn't want to hurt you.
Hey. I touch her face. You didn't hurt me. I hurt myself. And I reach down and I yank the necklace off of her.
And as you wrench the necklace off of her, a hand shoots out of the repairing reality, wraps around Kira's waist,
What?
and yanks her in.
Oh my god!
As the last few shards come back and seal up reality, Kira disappears behind it. And we will end there for today.
What the fuck just happened?
I was really like lighthearted, say like, "Whoo!" Nella's huffing and being like, "Ha, that was a fight," and then you end with that.
Bruh!
Wait, so who am I supposed to kill now?
Well,
You muted. I was like,
should we go into the details of your sword? Do you remember the details of it?
Does anyone else just feel like this high-pitched screaming noise in their brain?
Tess, you can come back now.
it causes death. That's all I know.
If you draw the sword, someone dies.
Oh, so she did die. I just didn't have to stab her. Got it.
Holy... What the fuck just happened? Oh my god. The fucking... What? Bruh!
Next session. Oh no, what happened? Oh no.
You literally murdered someone!
What happened? I don't know. I was like,
I
"Hey, the whole
just witch.
time.
I just do witch things.
I just give necklace. I don't know what happened.
You killed Kira.
It's like the first time I've
No
ever.
permanent harm. That was the rule. The one rule. The one fucking rule.
So this is
Fuck.
this is probably a good moment to say that unfortunately, as we proceed forward, we are losing Tess from the show. Scheduling problems and so forth. Thank you so much, Tess, for making this happen. It's been great having you on the show.
It's been amazing.
Yeah. Would you like to tell them what we had planned and how it ended up working out? Because I feel like you deserve that exposition there now.
Oh gosh. So yeah, we had a plan for today because like my schedule has changed, and unfortunately it just didn't work out to like I didn't want to make everybody change their schedule around me, and it wasn't really even possible anyway to do it. And so I won't be able to be on the show anymore. And we wanted to like do the character justice. We wanted to do the encounter justice and like the relationship she'd already built. And so we were like, okay, we're gonna send her off in some epic way. And we were definitely thinking like Kira's whole problem this whole time is she doesn't have very good control, but she's actually very powerful. And she's been like holding it back, like trying so hard to like hold it in and not let it go crazy because she knew that something crazy could happen. And so I was like, well, let's just make her go crazy. And I actually wasn't expecting Sesha to be the catalyst of that before the actual session.
That was
thinking,
the plan, but
Freaking amazing.
I was like,
it was awesome.
Ooh, you want to do that? Okay, let's go.
Yeah, it was so perfect because my thinking was Sesha is going to like in her own way just kind of antagonize like the others. And then antagonize Kira to the point where she will just like be forced to react, you know?
Why
like
antagonize when I could just,
So,
like it just didn't occur to me that you could do that. And so when you said it, I actually thought, and Cheapy, you tell me if this is, I don't think it sounds like it's not the case. It sounds like it was unexpected for you too. I didn't know that. When Kat started doing that with Sesha, I was like, wait, did they plan this and not tell me? It's brilliant, and I had no idea.
Like,
but you like literally read our minds. It was so cool.
The second that Sesha went up to her room, I was like, oh she might be going to go and do something fatey.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, what do you want to do? Do you want to like have a trigger? Do you want her to use her max power? And you may have noticed that I mentioned that Kira broke the limiters she'd placed on herself.
Yep.
And another limiter.
Yes.
Fucking wards. She broke the wards, man.
Well,
Just shattered them.
So, Kira had been holding herself back, which is like mental limiters, but her power was also contained and limited when she met Guinevere. So Guinevere put a ward on her to stop her going out of control.
Which is so funny because like Alfie for sure when Kira's like, oh, I just want to learn control, I'm like, control? Like what? Like you're literally in the same boat as us. Like Alfie incorrectly assumed that we were all at the same kind of like level of what we could do and power, I guess. And then seeing that, she's like, oh fuck, no. Wait a minute, what the fuck? Like we're in completely different grades. I'm not supposed to be here.
Yes,
like,
you need to learn control.
It's like, yeah, you probably do.
Sesha wanted to do more than just like poke the bear. She wanted to like unleash it. She was really curious.
Which is so perfect. Like I can't believe that wasn't planned.
Well, the thing was too is like that's why I also was like last week I was like, I want to fight Kira because I want Sesha to basically kind of make her unleash her power. She wants to see it.
Yeah.
And then the severing of the strings, and then she just gets pulled through. Oh my god.
So
Yeah, that was cheapy. That was a brilliant idea
Fucking
that he
amazing.
came up with. He was like, "It's gonna calm down, it'll seem like it's over, and then
Yoink!
yeah."
I thought you were gonna make me
So
stab
good.
her, and I was just like,
No.
well, she is going, and I guess I'm just gonna have to stab her. And then I was preparing for it, and then that happened, and I was like,
I thought you were gonna stab her. I thought like
Yeah,
when
I
you,
thought
like,
so too. I
yeah,
was like,
same.
"Wait, am I gonna literally?"
yeah, because I was sitting there, and I was like, oh shoot, I have my sword out. I tried to put it back in, and oh no, it won't sheath back. Oh no.
Watch
Also,
this be.
what the fuck was that guy? The guy who came out with the like sister? Excuse me?
Yeah,
Who the
hello?
fuck is this guy?
I don't.
I'll be able. I have no freaking idea. But Sesha's just playing. I have no idea what that was. I have no idea what the sister was about. She's just playing it off like this is really cool. Like
I can tell you that when you go back up to your room, there'll be 3 burned dolls in your room.
Oh my god.
Oops.
What the fuck?
Oh my god.
yeah, hello, Baba. Yeah, okay. So listen,
I
you
made
know
a
about
boo-boo.
Pompeii.
I
I made a big boo boo. Yeah, no, not like Pompeii. Like I mean like huge boo boo. Like I think
I
I
made a
just
spirit self.
broke reality. Yeah.
Briefly, yeah.
So
But you
Okay, talk to you, bye.
you done made a mistake, maybe.
I made a maybe. You know what? Burning dolls in a fire does not sound so bad anymore. Can I come home?
it essentially it wasn't even really Sesha's fault. She manipulated fate on the trigger so that when Kira activated her spirit manipulation, it would break all those limiters and cause her to go full power and out of control, which essentially broke all the wards. You know, like I mentioned, there are wards on this place. Broke all the wards to do with spirit, to not let bad spirits in, and then she essentially broke reality between her and the spirit world, and then called the most powerful spirits she could find, which was all part of Sesha's, you know, like manipulation of fate, and therefore you could maybe take a guess that it is connected to Sesha as well.
Yikes.
I have a sibling.
I'm so
Bro-
excited for the next episode. I won't be here, but I'll be here in the spirit. Literally.
I'll miss you so much.
It's literally our second day of school, and someone's already killed a quarter of the class.
Like we
So-
just had a 1-to-1. Like a
Is it really
heart to
someone though?
heart.
Because here's the thing though, is technically you didn't see her stab anyone and you don't know what that sword does.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no. I don't know in character.
So
All I saw was
yeah,
that
so it's like it's
some
gonna be
bullshit
crazy. It's gonna be crazy in the aftermath because then nobody knows what's going on, but like Sesha has like an inkling and like pretty much is like confirmed and knows what's going on. At least what happened with Kira is just like
Did you
okay.
Alfie
you-
is fucking clueless.
did you notice that Moonface knew what your sword did?
Yes,
And
mimicking
had a
me.
matching sword.
Not matching.
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah, a
No, not
matching, like
matching.
as
It's
in
very
as-
similar. It's like-
She
like
had-
contrasting.
Yeah, she had a white blade. It had a black blade.
What if the black blade gives life?
Stop dangling the carrot in front of us, sheepy.
Oh, by
I
the
mean,
way,
you never
Nell,
know. You never know what's gonna happen.
that was a fucking baller move, like
Yeah.
smashing it with all of your
Yeah,
force.
that was so cool.
Let's rumble.
I
I was so nervous about the badger, about
Yeah.
beta badger. I was like,
Beta
I
badger.
need to help. I need help beta badger.
when we were making when Syrinx was making Nell, we were talking about different ideas and stuff, and floated the idea of like a frontline brawler who took the backline, because
The backline boxer, baby.
because Nell can teleport
Bro.
her punches, she can be a mage at the back, but like a melee brawl mage, which is really
Literally
cool.
one of
Yeah,
those
it's
so
literally
Void
one of
Boxer.
those anime
like,
anime fight
anime
scenes where
as
it's all those
fuck.
like fight and they're like she's just standing there like this. It's like
Just like wait for the moment that I can like multiply or something, and then I just like open a giant amount of portals and all of fists like come out of there, like
Rain
my
of fists.
ultimate move after this campaign.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Like 1,000 fist fight. Like I'll
You have to
call
like
it that.
call the names out of like your moves, be like void fists, and then like have like fist of 1,000 spaces, like just fucking like I don't know,
love
just
it.
You have like another mage like increase the mass of your arm as you're
This-
punching, and you have
Yeah,
like
I could have done that.
Look,
but
this is why I'm at boarding school.
no.
honestly, it's gonna get really, really fun when we're able to combine, like work together to combine our abilities. Like
yeah.
I can just imagine Alfie like throwing a bunch of like metal needles through portals of various like spaces or whatever that Nell makes, or like Sesha having, you know, just all these like manipulating the time around somebody while also Nell's doing the same thing with gravity and just completely getting them discombobulated. Like, oh my gosh.
Have you considered electric conductive boxing gloves? Cause
Wait, me?
well, for Nell.
Or Nell? Yeah, yeah.
If you
I'm getting vibes, you know, like
Yeah.
from, I don't know if you guys watch Arcane or League of Legends, but like just like the big like gloves, you know. Alfie could probably
Just-
construct something like that actually.
Like, just give me batteries strong enough to hold, and then I'll be able to punch them and make the electricity
Yeah.
go from the battery to them.
Because Nell has a little bit of forces.
A little
in there as
bit.
well.
Yeah. Oh shit. Okay.
So if you made something like more technological with needing batteries and, you know, maybe utilizing like shockwaves and stuff, Nell could actually power it herself. There's so many possibilities. I love
Yeah.
Mage.
This fucking game is anime as fuck. I'm so down.
so
I love
cool.
this. I love this so
mean,
much.
It's so
Like,
cool. I'm
so
so
good.
sad to leave.
Like if you maybe,
We're gonna miss you. We're gonna miss you a
I'm gonna
lot.
miss you guys.
But holy shit, what an exit.
Yeah.
Bro, like the music too, like ripping,
That was
breaking
TV.
reality.
Yeah, that was Sheepy. Sheepy like has spent like multiple days.
Don't tell them how long I was looking for music for that scene.
Sorry.
I have never killed another player character before.
Oh.
This is actually my first time in all of my tabletop
Huh.
games and D&D
Holy
games.
shit.
My first,
First
time,
time, huh?
actually. Yeah, this is my first time officially killing another player character.
Congratulations, you're a
Yeah.
murderer.
It's like that meme at
It's my
the,
first
like,
time being killed by another
First
player.
time, huh? Like,
There we
just
go,
time,
it's our
huh?
first time for everything. God, everybody says I'm a murder hobo. Come on now.
Wow,
That
now
was so cool.
are question mark? No.
Instigator, definitely. Murder hobo.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
that's true.
Definitely not.
That's true. You never forget your first.
Beautiful.
True.
Beautiful.
So
I'm so excited I got to use that crazy effect too. That was
That was
Yeah.
so cool. I like did a double take at your camera. I was like, what?
I actually like, if anyone rewatches that, like my jaw is on the fucking floor. Like I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? I cannot.
I
Yeah.
sent Tess a message and I was like, when you want to start, just
yeah.
initiate some of your spirity powers. And then she started and I
Yeah.
was like, okay, it's time for the music. Which,
Time to die.
I had a couple of pieces of music, but this is just too epic. We had another piece of music that I was thinking about using.
And it was good too, but this one is like just exactly right.
Just right. It's got that little like creeping darkness, and then the kind of more epic like booms and
Yeah.
absolutely
I
wonderful.
was listening to that like the whole time once the fight started.
Yeah.
And I actually listened to it like as I was getting ready earlier today too.
Me too.
Just yeah, to like get myself in the
I was
headspace.
trying to get in the zone so I could jump back
Yes.
into it later.
And it was really cool because like I listened to it for a while when you first linked it to me, and then I listened to it this morning, and then I turned it on, and it was almost like ingrained in me to start like breathing a lot and stuff. And I actually made myself lightheaded while I was doing it. I'm like holding on to my desk for a minute there.
You may have noticed like Shelby was quite panicked when the music started and he came over to you. It's because I was quite panicked because I started the music and I was like, oh god, they're scaring me.
Yeah.
But let's do outros. We'll finish with Tess if that's okay, because I'd like her to have a second to do a goodbye.
Yeah.
So let's start with Murder, Miss Murder. Hey, Miss Murder person.
I didn't murder anyone. You didn't see me stick that sword in anyone. I was just giant hand, just kind of whoop.
Dragged into the spirit world. Who knows? It's, no.
That's just,
Sesha and also Kat.
Hello, my name is. I was gonna say Sasha. It's not. It's Kat. But I play Sesha. I might as well be the same person, kind of, sort of.
Sure.
Never. I am a variety and creative derp caster. And yeah, I've been playing, or was it last week? I played a lot of Rust RP on Goober's 515 server. It's ending soon on the 21st. We play random games like Dodge Rock. So if you're interested in seeing me throw rocks at people, then you should go check that out. Besides that, we are actually delving into Cult of the Lamb, which is really exciting. And I love the game. And I refuse to have random NPCs. Every single follower has to be somebody from chat. So join on in. I stream from Tuesday to Saturday. Yeah.
And I'll potato it off.
Oh, yeah. Also, I'm no longer melting, which is really good. I'm going to pass it over to Beta Badger.
Beta Badger. I can't say that. I can't say that 5 times fast. It's not working. Hi, I'm Vandy. I play Alfie, and oh my gosh, what an episode. You can find me at OMG Vandy everywhere. I occasionally stream, but most of the time I'm actually on tabletop shows like this one and another one that's on Wednesdays, which the name is escaping. I'm forgetting the name right now because my brain is very dumb and I need to eat food. Which I have not done this episode, surprisingly. I am so freaking excited to see where this goes, but I am heartbroken that we're losing Tess. And Tess, I love role-playing with you. You're freaking amazing. Your character is so cool, and I hope your schedule one day is not the way that it currently is, and that you can one day come back to us.
We have some allowances that should help.
I was gonna say you should visit us, and you should visit. Well, no, you should visit Alfie in spirit form.
It's possible. Like we've. Well, I don't know if it's possible actually. I think I'm dead, but
there's hope.
A new necklace.
Hey,
it's possible for me to do things with you guys. Maybe not as Kira, but like it's possible for me to do things with you guys in the future. Just not like.
I have a few thoughts and things as well. We'll see. No promises though, because Tess is gonna be busy.
We're no longer the Four Musketeers.
Sorry.
Magiteers.
Yeah, you're just like Shelby's Angels now.
Now I will hot potato it off to the backline boxer herself, Miss Nell Syrinx. Go for it.
Well, hey, I'm Syrinx. I've been playing Nell or Eleanor. Heartbroken that she lost the one person she's already had a heart-to-heart with.
That was so evil, Tess. Sorry, but
to be fair, I also knew that she was gonna leave, but I was like, this is just too good. You can find me as Syrinx on Instagram and Twitter, and I just play TTRPG a lot this campaign, and we are heading into the final couple of episodes, I think, right now, of the French Revolution vampire game over on site Poltergeist Twitch channel or Beck.
Such a good setting for vampires.
It's so good. I love the revolution. And yeah, I will hot potato it to our lovely, our one and only Tess or Kira that we're gonna miss so much.
Thank you. I'm gonna miss you guys. Like my schedule is changing for a very good reason, and I will let everybody know what it is soon enough. But it's for a good reason, and believe me when I say I wouldn't change it if it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
I love doing this show. Like I'm so lucky to have gotten to do so many cool roleplay shows on this channel. We started with Sunkissed like way back when.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then like we did Drifting, which was so cool, and now this show. Yeah, Moonkissed. Oh my god, Moonkissed is amazing. I highly recommend you check out all of these shows on Sheepy's YouTube, by the way.
We all cry.
Yeah.
Like
oh
babies.
God. Yes. And yeah, I'm just honored, and I feel like I have grown as a role player because of this channel, both because of Sheepy and the way that he provides this like cool sandbox and immersion and like encourages us and gives us notes on like things we could improve upon and stuff like that. But also just from the people that I've gotten to roleplay with, like all of these three ladies. I know you guys are seeing something different than what I'm seeing. I forget sometimes, but yeah, like they're every single one of them is amazing, and I super recommend you check them out on their respective links that are below the thing, because they're amazing and they do amazing things, like on various social media platforms. Just go follow them and love on them, and you'll see me around. I promise. I'm not like going away forever or anything. I definitely want to be here and do things here. So who knows? Maybe I'll show up as a different character, or maybe I'll, maybe somebody will have like a memory flashback or something, and I'll be in that. Who knows? Anything is possible. And in the future there may be other shows, or who knows. I love role playing, and I'm. It's been an honor to get to know Syrinx and Kat and Vandy and work with Sheepy, and I'm like really lucky to have been here. Seriously, I don't think I would have come up with all this cool stuff if not for circumstances too. So I don't know. I've had some really incredible moments on this channel because of all kinds of things. So this isn't a bad thing. It's a good thing. In a lot of different ways.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's not a goodbye. It's we'll see you soon.
Exactly. And I will 1000% be watching. I may not be able to. Yeah, I may not be able to watch during the show, but I will 1000% be watching on YouTube like the moment it gets posted. Actually, I'm subbed, so I can watch the VOD. Ha. But yeah, I will 1000% be watching because I'm so curious to see what happens next. And I know like this is just the beginning. Everything they do is going to be so cool. And if you want to stay in touch with me, you can find me on Twitter at Test Games. I'm doing like running TikToks now, and VR fitness and stuff. And cats, always, forever.
Cats!
Yeah. And then I'm still gonna be streaming on weekends. Sometimes it might not happen, but I'm gonna do my best to stream either Saturday or Sunday for at least a little bit in the evenings. And sometimes it might be more, sometimes it might be less, but I'm gonna try. And then sometimes I might stream during the week. It's not gonna be super consistent, so just follow me on Twitter if you want to stay in touch.
Oh yeah. And hello, I'm Sheepdog. This is the Wandering Inn. General outro stuff of Patreon, Twitter, Discord. You can follow, get notified, all that type of stuff. Next Monday, obviously, will be another Mage episode, and we have in the future another season of Dragon Riders, and I've just put up a whole load of new shows which I want to do, which people have been signing up to. It's looking really cool. However, for the outro, I'm going to say my favorites, top 5 Tess RP moments. In no particular order, except for the last one will be my number 1, which is when Tess played Vandy's sister in the snack shot. I can't remember the name off the top of my head.
Starts with a D.
Yeah, it's
Davine.
Yes.
Davine.
Thank you.
when Tess played Davine in the snack shot, it was so awesome to see her get so enthusiastic to be back in role playing. The club dance scene in Sunkissed, when she took everyone out clubbing. The end episode, basically the entire last episode of Moonkissed, for everyone, but also for Tess as well. The death scene in Somnambulist, And my number 1 is the station scene in Drifting.
God,
Which
yeah.
I personally think Tess went above and beyond as a role player. She fucking knocked that out of the park.
That was amazing.
So, yeah. As an outro, I'm going to say thank you, Tess. Very nice to have you on the shows. Obviously, we will get you in as soon as possible anyway, but it is a shame to see you not be able to carry on with Somnambulist nonetheless. Thank you for watching, everyone. We'll be back next week, minus Tess, unfortunately, but Kira will stay in our hearts, and who knows, we may go searching for her. Thank you for watching. See you next time.
Doing something